Hey lads, editing Ben here. I just wanted to start the podcast with just a little message from me saying, in recording of this episode, we had a lot of technical difficulties, constant disconnections from the call and latency issues and not being able to hear each other. Eventually, we managed to get into a call where we could hear each other fine and it was very clear and there was no issues, but it's about an hour of the podcast before it gets to that. So if there's any kind of cuts or things that look a bit off in the first hour and a half, you understand why. And I am truly sorry for that. We tried to record the podcast once already. And we just decided to scrap it because it was just so bad with technical issues. And then we waited a couple of days and ready to record again, and we still got it. So I'm not sure what it was because we've never ran into this issue before. It's so random. But I feel the conversation was so good, this podcast. We got into some really interesting debates and conversations. I didn't really want to scrap it, so I've worked as much as I can and tried my hardest to make it a podcast make sense. It's cut down in some places, but honestly, I'm probably making it sound worse than it actually is. So I hope you enjoy nonetheless. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Random Wavelength Podcast. This is the podcast where you join myself and Jake, and we talk about pretty much everything and anything. It might be movies, it will be gaming, or it could be what we had for tea the night before. But let's just get started. Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing good. It's warm. I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, life's good.
It's very warm. I wish I went with the shorts now. Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm wearing these joggers and man, it is sweaty. It is hot and stuffy in this room.
I came prepared, yeah.
And I got this fat PC blowing out hot air. I've been playing PlayStation for the last few hours, so that's been pumping out hot air.
Need a fan, not for your consoles or for your PC, but just for yourself. Self-care is important. Don't forget your fan.
That's what I need. Maybe I'll get an AC unit at some point.
Just plug it right into your skin.
Yeah. All right. I'll do that.
Who doesn't need an Assassin's Creed unit, am I right?
Hey, dude, can we not? Like, come on. Please. Oh, I've had too much fucking shit in the last couple of weeks with that stuff, but I've moved on.
You moved on? You moved past it. Life's good.
Exactly. Anyway, man, what have you been gaming recently?
Gaming. Yeah, gaming recently, same thing. Yeah, I've been playing Returnal. I've almost platted it, which is very exciting. I remember last podcast we were talking about, I've literally returned? I literally got Returnal today. And then like 3 weeks later, because it's been 3 weeks since we recorded a podcast, being like,
it's been a while.
Yeah, I've almost platted it. It's a very good game. I enjoy it. It's got great alt fire, which uses the adaptive triggers. It's got great.
Yes, I've heard about this. It sounds really cool. Do you want to talk about that
100%
for a bit?
I'm so glad. Yeah. Because I like it a lot. So basically, in the game, you have like your main fire, which is your normal gun. Like I don't know, yeah. Then each gun has like an alt fire. And then basically if you pull down the aim button, you start to feel like a lot of resistance. And if you push past that, then you enter that alt fire weapon. It's just, it's very clever how it all works. And it's one of the best uses of the adaptive triggers that I've seen. Then again, the only games I've played with it is like Miles Morales and Astro Bot, so I haven't got much to compare it to. But it is, it's very fun. It's very satisfying. It's really intuitive as well. It's very good.
It sounds it. I'm really, really excited to see it for myself because it sounds amazing. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's almost like having another button on the controller, being able to do that.
Yeah. Sounds it, and it's like when I'm looking forward to getting it in my hands and actually feeling it because it's all well good being explained it, but it definitely doesn't do it justice.
Exactly.
I guess.
It was like before I got a PS5, I was like, what do you mean the triggers have resistance? How is that possible? And then you feel it and you're like, wow, I get what you mean. That's brilliant. And it's the same with the haptic feedback as well. Like, obviously your character has a helmet on and sometimes it rains and you can literally feel like the raindrops in your hand. It's great. It's so
that's
clever
mad.
how it works.
I'm looking forward to trying it. I'm not gonna lie, like really looking forward to trying it. I have to get it. I will be getting it soonish, hopefully. Probably next month.
That's very true. Now. After Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, because I pre-ordered Ratchet and Clank. That's coming in 6 days. Oh, I'm so excited.
Soon,
I'm so excited.
I bet that'll have some good haptic feedback and adaptive trigger stuff.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just seeing the whole SSD, like how quickly things load and the different worlds and the whole like Rift mechanic. So excited. So excited.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's one thing seeing it in like trailers and that, and another thing actually experiencing yourself. Just to really be blown away.
So Jake, what are you thinking about like the story of Returnal?
The story is quite interesting the way it's paced, because, for example, in one run, like a really good run, where you get to like the end, for example, you could come across a lot of the story. Just by naturally progressing, so you're playing for longer, you get to points you haven't seen before. Whereas if you keep dying and doing these quick, like, 10-minute runs, you like may hardly never see any story because you keep dying and you won't make it past a certain point. So it's really interesting the way it's paced. You've definitely got to be good to see the story and what little there is. I mean, there's obviously the basis like it's built on. There's like backstory, I guess. They slowly uncovered the mystery, but there's no like definitive. There's no like conclusion, I would say, to it. It's not very satisfying. I wouldn't say the story.
Okay, so it's like definitely the gameplay and the kind of rogue-like part of it, and the exploration is definitely part of the main part of the game.
Oh, definitely. The story's almost there to give like the game a reason, for example. Like, it's like the bare minimum you need to understand the gameplay almost. Like they didn't like it's there, but it's not very like interesting, I guess.
That's fair. I mean, that's what I kind of expected from that. Like I wasn't expecting a big story.
Exactly, yeah. Roguelikes tend to be like that, yeah. Because obviously it's difficult to do when you keep dying over and ending up in the same place.
Exactly. I mean, like Souls games have a very, very minimal story. Like very minimal.
Like that, yeah.
It's all done through world building and it's very like environmental storytelling. So rather than like, following a strict story, like you'll come across things in the environment that might insinuate a story. Like Bloodborne does it really well, where you'll like go to a house and you might you'll hear a conversation that's happening inside or something, and that'll just be a little story piece that's happening while you're doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? It's never like the story is never really prominently going on. Is that what it's kind of like?
Exactly. Yeah, precisely. Yeah, like you come across glyphs and that, like explaining the planet's history, almost. I guess. I mean, there's like almost two separate storylines. You have the planet's history, and then you have like the personal history. It is quite clever. Yeah, I like how it works. I like what's there in terms of the story here.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. I'm looking forward to playing it myself. Sorry, go on.
And I never felt the game got like too repetitive or boring with the gameplay as well. So I say it is a good roguelike.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting it myself and eventually, but you've sold it. You've sold it, Jake.
I've sold it. Hell yeah. How Smart Games hired me to be a salesman person.
If anything better, sponsor us. Come on, sponsor Random Wavelength, yes. Then we can, get you those sales, because I know you need it.
Exactly. Because I know
they only sold loads. So I actually know I don't know what Returnal kind of sold. I want to have a look now. How much?
That's very interesting, because it's not a typical sort of like massive PlayStation sort of game that would sell a lot. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
How much did... That's not how you make... Oh. I was going to say, I was like, that is not a lot. And then I read in its first week in Japan. I was like, okay.
Okay, that's very specific, yeah.
I was like, PlayStation 5 version of Returnal sold 6,573 physical copies. And I was like, what? I was that is not good. But that's just in Japan in the first week. I can't really find an actual number that they sold overall. Fair enough. Is a £70 price tag justified?
I see. I managed to get it for 60, and I was like, yeah, there's enough content there, but £70 is still quite steep, I would say. Depends how into roguelikes you are and how like engrossed you get. Because obviously, the more engrossed you get into it, the more you'll play it. So obviously, I said it's quite repetitive at some points. It depends how much you enjoy the genre, I would say.
Okay. Now, is that 70... The thing is, though, is this like using your previous knowledge of how much a video game is, or is it looking forward to most games being 70? You know what I mean? Like, are you comparing it to older games that would be like 50 and thinking, oh, it's not up to these? But with production and, you know, how they make games now, it's obviously a lot more expensive. So, you know, it's kind of your thoughts and what goes into a game kind of changes, and how much you think a game should be may have to change. I don't know. Do you think that's a factor?
That's very true, because, I mean, I guess I said it depends how much you enjoy a game, because I would, like, pay £70 for the last God of War game, but it doesn't have those sort of technologies that needs to be developed for longer periods of time, so therefore it would cost more, right? Whereas Returnal, it does have, like, obviously the haptic feedback, the adaptive triggers, all, like, the effects and the graphics that need to be developed for longer. See, that's a really difficult question, to be fair. What do you think? Like, do you think £70 is justified for a short game as long as it's really heavily developed and has really good features? In general,
it's a mocapped game, right?
Yes, it is. Yes.
Right, so that's going to increase the amount of money to make the game by a lot. Mocap is very expensive, so looking at that, maybe. I mean, I haven't played it, so it's difficult to say. But
it doesn't.
I just think we need to get it in our heads that games cost more to make now, and to compensate for that, we're just going to have to pay more. And obviously, if it's a game like NBA or FIFA, then that's just ridiculous, because it is basically copy and pasted, up-resed each year. But like, you know, from a like Returnal was a game from scratch, like, all new assets, like they had to get new casting, so they have to pay for people to audition people, and to get the whole cast in, they have to get a new team, they had to do all the mocap, obviously make the assets, make the animations all from scratch. So like there would have been a lot of work into this game, a lot of work. If it was a game if it was a sequel, and they already had a lot of the assets, and you know, then maybe not. But, you know, the amount of money and the amount of work that would have gone into this would have been enormous. And I think, you know, we just got to get used to the fact that we have to compensate for that by paying more. And I think £70 is reasonable. I don't, like, you know, for a 20-hour experience. How long have you been playing Returnal for?
Probably closer to 40 hours, to be fair.
40 hours. But
I'm trying to plat it though, so.
Yeah, but I feel like, you know, but that's up to you, innit? Like, how much is the game worth at your time? If a game is making you want to plat it, that's a good thing, because it means you want to spend your time on it. And for me, that makes it worth £70. You know, 40 hours, that's like £2 an hour. That's like £1.60 an hour.
Again, I guess it really does depend. I guess it does depend on the person, being if you like the genre. See, I quite enjoy roguelike, so therefore for me it's personally worth it. Whereas somebody who's not so keen on it, they obviously won't see it's worth it and obviously won't purchase the game, which is why Returnal is quite an interesting game in the terms of its genre and how of its sales, because its roguelikes aren't typically very popular compared to like an RPG or an open world game like the rest of PlayStation's sort of like experiences.
Yeah, and I think that's the same with like literally everything, isn't it? Like Demon's Souls I absolutely loved. It's one of my favourite games I played on PS5, and that was £70. I've spent like probably about 70 hours in it, maybe like 80 to 90 hours, honestly. There might be some people out there who played about 40 minutes. They did one life, they went really far, and they died, and had to go all the way back to the start and was like, yeah, I'm not playing this anymore. Those people are going to say it's not worth £70.
That's very true.
Of course they will. They'll be like, nah, it's shit, terrible game. I actually know people that did that, and a couple of people that did that and then sold it straight after, and they did say, nah, it's not a very good game, and they were like, how did you enjoy it? It wasn't good. They're not going to enjoy that. In the same way that I would never think a sport game is worth £70, but somebody that plays 300 hours of the next FIFA probably would, you know? So it's all very, very subjective.
Yeah, of course.
With that,
I was going to say, some people say video games aren't art, and yet here we are, art is subjective, so is video games. Boom. Done.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I think the whole price thing is just, it is subjective, and I think eventually in the next 5, maybe 10 years, we'll see basically every AAA game being £70. Not just PlayStation Studios games.
And
that's just what the world we're going to be living in, and that's fine. You think like 15 years ago they were like £40, so they have to go up, and with inflation, like things have to go up anyway. I mean, look how much Freddos have gone up because of inflation, you know? That's important.
I was going to say Freddo is the prime example.
Absolutely. And it's up to you, innit? If you think, the next Ratchet and Clank game comes out, and you think, I kind of like Ratchet and Clank, but I wouldn't pay £70 for it. Fine. Don't play it. Don't get it straight away. Wait a few months till it's on sale, or get it secondhand for like $50, if that's what you want to do. But if you are eager to play it and you do think it's worth £70, then pick it up. That's what I'm doing, because I think it is worth that. From what it is, and that's fine.
Yeah, I'm the former rather than latter. I'm like, yeah, I like Ratchet Clank, but I wouldn't spend £70 on a game, because
that's fair.
Yeah, it'd be a good game, but it'd be quite a short experience though, because it's probably like 20 hours to. I guess that's not too bad.
Yeah, but that's a good length. Oh, these games get too long, man. They get too long, and I can't be having it. I'm not happy with it. The game,
yeah.
Sorry, 10 to 25 hours, good, and then like maybe 50 to 60 for a platinum. Happy, done. Any more? Come on, stop. Unless the game is purposely like that, and it's engaging enough that it'll keep you entertained the whole time. Like Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, they come to mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of Red Dead, you finished that, didn't you, recently?
Yes, I did. I did finish it. We've been slowly in each podcast going through my experience of Red Dead 2, but a couple of weeks ago I finally finished it, and boy was it not a masterpiece. Like, let's be honest, it's great, isn't it? It's just great. I know you haven't finished it yet, Jake. You probably never will. But
that is probably the most likely outcome in this. I mean, this is Ben's final review of Red Dead Redemption.
It's so sad that you're never going to finish it. Why not? Why? Oh, whatever. But yeah, I mean, so it was slow at the start, and I agree. The storytelling was very slow paced, which was nice because it introduced you slowly to the characters and the world. Obviously, if you're not a big fan of slow storytelling, it's just not going to be for you. But if you are, I love good slow storytelling. It's like introducing you to the world and world building and character development, and it's what I live for. I love it. So I loved that, but it was slow, and I get it. Like
slow story.
Yeah, it's nice. It's good. I kind of got it. Like at times there were like moments of just like, okay, this is a bit too much of just, when's it gonna get like, now. But it was good. Like I see, chapter 3 is where it really picked up, and chapter 4, 5, 6 was like pinnacle. It was like amazing. All this, not spoilery, like all this story and what happened and with what happened with the characters. And chapter 6, like the start of chapter 6 and that whole build up to what happens at the end was just perfectly done. And I was not expecting it. I knew I had been spoiled on a big thing that happens at the end of the game, but I didn't know how it was going to be done.
Yeah, I've been spoiled too, unfortunately.
Yeah. So you know what happens, yeah.
I presume so, yeah.
I'm not going to go into detail just in case, but but like the way it was done.
To the 3 people who haven't played the game yet, including myself.
Yes, the 3 people. But that's like the kind of reveal, and then like the build up through that whole chapter was really incredible, and I haven't really experienced that kind of storytelling to that like pinnacle, top tier ever, in that way for that kind of thing. It was amazing. The last ride, with the music and like what was going on. Like if you've played it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. And then the epilogue was just this really nice long experience. I wasn't expecting it to be as long as it was. It was like a good 6 hours or something like that, but like it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long epilogue, but like it hit peak end of chapter 6, and then it went way down, and it was just calm, and it was collected. It was nothing crazy going on. It was just this really nice ending to the game and to the story of the characters that you interact with in that epilogue.
That's
just really nice sense of just
it really stuck the landing.
Very nice conclusion. You really did. Just like almost like the American dream, and you had that really big sense of that through, and like peace and family and hope and home as well. It was great, really nice. And honestly, I just want to replay that epilogue. I really do. It was honestly probably my favorite part of the game was the epilogue, like overall. That and like chapter 6. That and chapter 6 were like my favorite. Oh, so good. And now I need to play Red Dead Redemption 1. I think I'm gonna pick it up for the PC at some point and play it. Maybe stream it at some point, because I've heard like obviously Red Dead 2 is a prequel to Red Dead 1. So like it goes Red Dead 2, then Red Dead 1 in chronology. So that'd be good. Let's play it at some point.
That would be good, yeah. Have you played many games on your PC actually? Because I know you've obviously used it for streaming, editing, that sort of thing, but
yeah, I played Minecraft. I'm not a big fan of playing games on PC. I don't like playing with a keyboard and mouse. It just doesn't feel as immersive. It's like, it's weird. If I had a controller, I would, but I just haven't had an excuse to. If there's ever like an Xbox exclusive that I really want to play, I'll play on PC. Because it'll be able to. When Elder Scrolls 6 inevitably is an Xbox exclusive, I'll play on PC.
I mean, hey, that's quite good. Not segue into what I was thinking about. Starfield is confirmed to be an Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, go on then.
Which yeah, I mean, it's not really surprising, but it's still kind of like Microsoft is almost buying up studios to limit like that access PlayStation as to games. Obviously PlayStation is great exclusive through its studios, but Microsoft doesn't really have that like that really exclusive experience, hence them buying studios like Bethesda, almost like corner that area of the market of games. So yeah, I mean, it's like not surprising, but still.
Yeah, I don't know why people ever thought they wouldn't make the Bethesda games not exclusive. I don't know why they thought they'd still put Starfield and stuff on PlayStation. Like, why? You know, like Microsoft owned that company.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly. If they have the opportunity to put big games like Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 most notably only on their console and PC, because they have to have both, only on their console, you didn't think they'd take that. Why wouldn't they? I mean, it's a great business move, because honestly, like, I'd buy an Xbox Series X if I didn't have a PC. I'd buy one. If I had only a PlayStation 5 and that was it, and I found out that Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 and any future Bethesda games were only coming to Xbox, I'd buy a Series X. Otherwise, I wouldn't.
It just makes sense. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's almost
and
like
then you also...
Microsoft were to just release like Halo onto the PS consoles, and then it would make no sense for them.
Exactly.
They don't have the upper hand at all.
They're not releasing Halo and Fable on PlayStation, so why would they do it to the other studios' games? Even though it's just because it's Bethesda, isn't it? Because they've had like Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and Fallout on PlayStation for years, like, but now they're owned by a company that have their own console. You don't think they're going to make it exclusive to their console? It's just bizarre that people don't think they will.
Precisely, yeah.
But you know. Like, and then it'll bring more people to the Xbox, making them on their ecosystem, and, you know, buying more of their games. They might think, oh, you know what, I'll give Halo a go. Maybe they weren't before, or Fable, or Forza, or whatever comes out. You might be like, yeah, I'll give it a go now, because I got the game. Well. Yeah, they're buying a new game. You know what I mean? You know, that's more sales. So, yeah, I mean. Makes sense. And I'm fine with that. In fact, I want an excuse to get a Series X, because I want to get one eventually. Like, I want an excuse. I want Microsoft to do so well and get all these great games on there that I'm like, yeah, I'll buy a Series X. Like, I don't want to have to play games on my PC, because I just don't enjoy it. I just prefer having a console. I find it way easier for everything. And I'll be on that console. I've had a 360 and Xbox One, and they were my main consoles for the last two generations. And I loved those consoles. And I loved the games on those consoles. I mean, 360 were some of my fondest and most memorable gaming memories ever. It's what I grew up with, like playing Call of Duty or Minecraft or Terraria or whatever it might be, or just random indie games. Yeah, I used to play loads of indie games on my 360.
Miners. Remember, like, Xbox's like indie store and that?
Oh, it was brilliant. You had like 69 pence.
God, this is going
indie
far.
Games.
Yeah.
Epoxy. It was like DayZ, but for Xbox. That was great. I used to play that with
God,
Seb.
I hope people remember that like indie store. I hope people know what we're on about.
I hope so. I really do. This is like our childhood of gaming. This was like, you know.
This is like. I completely forgot about these memories, but Murder Miners especially. That was brilliant.
Murder Miners, man, that was a classic, and it was like 69 pence. Yeah. It was weird.
It was incredible. Yeah, all these indie games. It was
great.
I mean, they're not even like indie games. They're like one person developed in like a month type of games, but they're great. Aren't they?
Indie games, yeah.
That's yeah. I guess so. I guess the term indie games have become more broader, hasn't it? Like,
sure.
It's this game that like 10 people worked on for the last 3 years and is really well developed. Is still an indie game, isn't it? I guess. But so it's like this one game that was developed by a month for one guy. I guess so. I mean, where do you draw the line between an indie studio and like a proper developed studio? The people they employ? Is it the quality of the game? Because there's some indie games better than like AAA games. So
I think if it's not published, so if it's just
there's a thought to throw out into the ether, that is the internet.
I don't know.
Where do you draw the line?
What does make an indie game? I want to search this now, because like Kena Bridge of Spirits is an indie game.
Exactly, but it's like for the.
But that's backed by PlayStation. It's a PlayStation exclusive, published by PlayStation. What makes an indie game?
So is it the amount of people?
An indie game.
Personally, you officially like a AAA studio? Or?
Here we go. An independent video game or indie game is a video game typically created by individuals or smaller development teams without the financial and technical support of a large game publisher, in contrast to most AAA games. Okay.
But then Kena is technically backed by PlayStation. Yeah. And it does have that like financial, I presume, financial export and technological support. So is that not an indie game anymore?
Yeah, maybe it's not, but maybe PlayStation gave them no finance for it. They're just publishing it. So like, oh yeah, so Ember's Labs are like, oh, we're working on this game.
Surely.
Well, not really, because Ember's game might have financed it all themselves and got all the tech for it themselves, and they're just developing it, and then they're giving it to PlayStation, be like, yo, can you advertise this and publish it? Done.
That's very
I'm guessing that's what it means.
If that is the case, then yeah, it is an indie game. But if not, then...
I mean, it definitely is. Pretty sure it's an indie game.
Strange. What an interesting branch.
Love it. Oh yeah, it's just not going to come if I search that, isn't it?
Where even were we? I've completely lost.
Hey Jake, it's called the Random Wavelength Podcast for a reason. Okay.
Oh, because basically me and Ben tried to record this podcast like on Thursday, but Discord was being a pain. I'm not sure if you saw on Ben's Twitter. And I made loads of great like C puns because we were talking about wavelengths, and if we did like a C review channel, we recorded the Pacific wavelength, get like specific, like the opposite of random, and then I made loads of C puns, and it was great. That's a shame. That's lost to the void now, isn't it?
It's terrible, but okay. You wouldn't like it, guys. You wouldn't like it. It was the worst. I think it is actually AAA, but it's just, I don't know. This article is very confusing. It's not really explained it well. Fucking article.
It's not great to read on the fly, I can imagine.
I don't know. It's saying, okay, this article is saying it's an indie developer, so I don't know what to believe. But the other one was saying AAA, so it's both. It's both at the same time.
I was going to say, can it be both?
It's a AAA indie developer. Boom. I think it's a AAA game developed by an indie developer. I think that's what it means.
That makes sense, yeah. I was going to say, if it's developed by a small group of people, it starts as an indie game, but then they got the backing and support of like a AAA studio or a producer game company like PlayStation.
Yeah, sure.
Then it can be both,
we'll go with that. Either way.
Hell yeah. Defined indie games right there and then. Boom. Yeah, this is a weird branch we got off onto.
Anyway, guess what I did yesterday?
What did you do yesterday? Slept, ate, I don't know, drank probably.
I did all of those things. I finished my replay of The Last of Us 2.
Ah, yes, I saw on your Twitter, because you added it to like the list of games you finished, and I saw in brackets, replay. Oh, and you actually sent it to me on, you actually showed me a picture of you saying, oh yeah, I platted it. And I was like, wow, that couldn't have been easy.
Got the plat, it was pretty easy. It literally took like 2 and a bit playthroughs. Like I did my first playthrough back in June, completely blind, just played it how I would normally play a game, not really doing anything extra. The second playthrough, I was like, all right, I'm just going to try and get all the collectibles. So I didn't like go on any guides or anything. I just like literally looked under everything, trying to uncover everything. So I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
to replay the game again. Literally, and yeah, basically did that, and I finished the game. I had like 4 or 5 collectibles left. Like I was like, shit. Luckily, you can like replay chapters. So I replayed the chapters I had things left.
Yeah, I saw that.
There's like 3, I think, overall. And man, the ones I missed were hid well. There was like some, like there's some really well hidden. Like one of them, like, so I'm going to go into spoilers for Last of Us from now, because I kind of want to talk about story in a little bit. So spoilers now. There'll be a timestamp when we stop talking about Last of Us 2.
For like
if you want to skip ahead.
Yeah, so.
All right. If you're still here, you're screwed if you haven't played the game. So at one point when you're playing as Abby, you have to obviously collect the coins. So there's a coin. To get this coin,
yes,
you have to hit a vending machine and it falls out. Like, that's one of the collectibles.
God,
that's one of the ones
absurd.
I missed. Like, I was like so confused where this collectible was. I had to search eventually because I was like, I'm not finding it. Yeah, you had to hit this vending machine and then it felt
you have to do this
really
very
cool.
specific thing that you would never do.
Yeah, exactly. Very well done one. There was another one that I found after a little bit of hunting, but there was inside a car. So it was one of the trading cards, like inside a car, which is really cool. So I had to open up, I had to break the window, and then kind of reach in to get it. But yeah, some really well hidden collectibles in the game, which was I like. But yeah, so replaying the game, it was a very, very different experience the first time. Very different. Right,
because you already knew what was going to happen in that.
Exactly. So like, I thought I was going to, like, before I was like, hailing it is like perfect game, absolute masterpiece. I love it. One of my favorite games of all time. And I thought going in, I was like, all right, I'm going to replay it, fully expecting to find loads of flaws and think, nah, you know, and seeing where story points I missed.
Time.
Yeah, and just see story points that I missed. Like I don't really think work on a second playthrough or at all. But surprisingly, I didn't. I went in thinking that, and I still think it's perfect. I still think it's a masterpiece. I still see nothing wrong with the story. I think, if anything, I appreciate it even more knowing that I've gone through 2 playthroughs and not really found any flaws. I had a couple glitches, which was interesting. I didn't have any glitches the first time through, but I had a couple like very minor glitches of like character getting stuck. And I actually had like there was one point where Dina just got stuck in a T-pose and like she wouldn't go into the next section. I had to restart the game. That was like the main thing that happened.
Oh, wow, that is rough.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. She just got stuck.
Maybe it's because you're spending so much time like trying to find all the collectibles and unturn every stone that you just found some bugs, I guess, because you were looking so in depth at it.
Maybe. It's like, yeah, but like from story, it was actually really interesting playing it a second time, because the weirdest thing was watching Joel's death again. After playing the whole game, because I'd already gone through the whole Abby section. I'd already understood Abby's motives. Already knew all of her friends. I already know what she went with Lev. I already know what she did after the game, gone off to the Fireflies. So, you know, the first time you play it, the game's so well designed that you see this random person kill Joel, kill a character you've loved since 2013 if you played it then, killed a character that's beloved by many.
Yikes, that's a long time ago.
Is incredible. It's this incredible character, and you know, took in Ellie as a father. That's right. Was a father to Ellie basically.
Yeah, boy,
you hate that bitch.
Me if it's right. You're the one who played it.
Yeah, and you hate that bitch, and that's the design, and you hate her all the way through Ellie's storyline and until the end where Abby comes up and kills Jesse, and has Ellie at gunpoint, and then it cuts, and obviously it goes. You all know it goes back to the flashback. When we're playing Flash, flashback, and then you go through Abby's story, and then obviously you start to understand Abby's motives and who she is and her backstory and her friends and everything like that, and you understand why she did what she did. You may not agree with it. I didn't agree with it, but you understand why, and you see why she came after Ellie at the end, because at the end of the day, Ellie did just kill all of Abby's friends. Like, would you not be after that person? Would you not want to go get revenge back for killing 5 of your friends? I would. not, I wouldn't maybe not kill him, but like, you know, I'd want to go to the person. I don't want to, you know, beat him up.
So somebody killed
like
me,
post-apocalyptic.
you would confront them.
Yeah, you'd confront them. You know what I mean? But the first playthrough, you learn all this as you go on. So it's this very, you know, definite kind of story of hating Abby to like hating her even more, and then slowly understanding her. And if you're lucky, and if the game's good for you, you'll grow to like her at the end. Or if you don't like her, at least understand what she did. And that's how the kind of game goes.
Exactly. It's very like
on a replay.
It's two like
Sorry, go on.
sides of the same coin almost.
Yeah. On a replay, you watch a character, for me at least, because I actually really like Abby. I think she's a great character. I think she's very compelling and very I empathize with her quite a lot. I think she's great. So when I watched the start again, I was watching a character I really like kill a character I love. It was weird. It was this weird kind of thing.
Very conflicting feelings. Yeah.
It was strange. I didn't know what to feel, because at one time, because I already knew everything. I already knew why Abby killed Joel. So it created this completely different experience. And I'd encourage anyone who's played The Last of Us, who's like, I never really want to play it again, to do it, because I think you'll have a very different experience. And I think it's honestly makes the game better for me. I think I prefer it even more because I've played it twice and had two different experiences with it. It's created these two different stories basically for me, which is pretty mad if you think about it. But I came out of the second playthrough liking Abby even more. I actually think I prefer the Abby section of the game to Ellie's section. I think obviously they gave Abby a lot more. Like they gave her the whole skyscraper sequence, the descent, which is horrible with all the stalkers and the infected, which is just horrible, and obviously Ground Zero with the Rat King. And the Rat King, dude, and obviously the big set piece at the end of day 3 with escaping Seraphite Island. And fighting Ellie at the end of day 3,
Yes.
like they gave her so much.
I forgot all these massive, yeah.
And I think I prefer Abby's section to the game. I think I prefer Ellie as a character. I mean, it's Ellie. It's Ellie. You know, she is my favorite fictional character, pretty much. You know, she's up there at least. I don't think I have a favorite, but she's
like grown up and developed in that. Yeah.
Exactly, she's up there in my like top 5. But
that's really sweet. Yeah,
Abby, I still
maybe you preferred Abby's
really
section more because it was more like you understanding her motives. It was more like unraveling mystery and understanding the whole new character.
I think so. It's a lot more complex storytelling. Ellie's section was revenge mission, whereas Abby's had like moments of like you really saw into Abby's like mind and consciousness of feeling guilty for Lev and Yara and wanting to help them, wanting to save them, and you saw her as a human being. Whereas Ellie, in a lot of her like Seattle Day 1, 2 and 3, in her bits, you didn't. And it's why you really did need the flashbacks of Ellie. You really needed them to remind you that Ellie isn't just this character out for revenge. You need to be reminded that she is this person with hopes and dreams and is a full character. Obviously, there were moments through Seattle Day 1, 2 and 3, but a lot of it
she was so filled with rage.
Going after revenge.
She was very single mindset. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I really picked out from the second playthrough. And that's kind of, it's meant to be like that. It's supposed to be like that, and I'm not faulting it at all. Like, it's designed to be like that, and it's great. The storytelling is just remarkable. One of my favorite stories, if not my favorite game of all time. Yeah, I can't fault it. I actually can't fault it.
So it's
apart from a couple
like
glitches.
Like Last of Us 2 story, and then like Red Dead story right beneath it. You've played two great like story-driven games recently.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, basically, and I still get so uncomfortable in the Abby trying to fight Ellie sequence. It's horrible. I hate it. I actually hate it.
Like the
but that's what's so good about it. The end of day 3. Sorry?
When they're on the shoreline and fighting after like Abby's been tied up to that pole for so long.
No. In the theatre. But yeah, long story short, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And if you haven't played it, you haven't replayed it yet, I suggest you do it if you just want a completely different experience. Even if you didn't think you enjoyed it the first time. Going in with those other thoughts, I think you'll enjoy it. And yeah. And hopefully you'll grow to like Abby more, because I like her a lot. I think she's great. I do think she's great.
You just want other people to like Abby, yeah. I thought, I did quite like her character. It was really interesting. I said to see and slowly unravel her motives and realize she's not just a monster out for revenge. Almost like Ellie was portrayed as in the present times of the game. I said it really showed the depths of the character. It was really well done.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, agree with 10.
Absolutely, 10 out of 10, perfect game. So I want to go on to something a little bit more serious for a second. I think we haven't been able to talk about it yet because our podcast has been delayed, but it happened a couple weeks ago, like really went big. And that's an article went out a few weeks ago detailing all the changes that Ubisoft did after their internal investigations they started about a year ago, after many allegations about sexual misconduct and harassment within the company. And this article came out detailing what they changed. And I don't know about you, Jake, but I don't think it's enough. And loads of people out there don't think that it's enough. I mean, have you been able to see it?
No, I really haven't heard much about this. I was hoping you could explain it to me on podcast, and you can get my almost first reactions and then my undeveloped opinions, I guess.
I'll explain it. So, about a year ago, like I said, countless allegations of sexual misconduct and harassment came out from the company from many different people in the company, mostly many high-ups and executives and public figures almost in the company. For example, Ashraf Ismail, who was the game director on Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the time, he stepped down, air quotes, but probably got asked to step down after these came out. And for example, Ashraf Ismail was just like using his power. He was using his power in the company and his influence to kind of manipulate women in the workplace and also fans. And it was obviously very immoral and definitely shouldn't be done. And then after, kind of around the same time, there was loads of other allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct from other women in the company about other executives and high-ups and other people. So Ubisoft were like, yeah, all right, we're doing an internal investigation. And they've been doing an internal investigation to find out what's been going on and try and get to the bottom of this, whatever that means.
Yes, I'm sure a company investigating itself will uncover a lot of good stuff and not like an outside property investigating.
Absolutely. Let me just get the article up so I don't discuss any wrong facts.
Yeah, good idea. That's always the problem when it's like, oh yes, we're investigating ourselves. It's an internal investigation. It's not going to uncover something like something more serious. You need to get an outside body almost to come in and investigate and see what's happening to really uncover the nitty-gritty of it, I guess.
Yeah. So Ubisoft did a survey. This is one of the things they did of 14,000 employees. Do you want to guess at how many people said they either witnessed or experienced workplace misconduct in the last 2 years?
I hope it's like 0 or 1% or something extremely low, but I know it's going to be higher than that, unfortunately.
Okay. The percentage was 25% of employees.
25? What, 1/4 of them?
25%.
Jesus.
1 in 4 employees out of 14,000.
That's absurd. That's too high.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I
agree, that's too high. Yeah. Another 1 in 5, so 20% of them in that survey said that they didn't feel fully respected or safe in the work environment.
Jeez, I didn't realize it was this bad. I thought it was just a few. Never mind, like 1/5 and like this high.
1/4. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So do you want to know what Ubisoft did to, counteract this?
Go on, tell us.
So they put 20,000 employees through some training, half a day of training to so they put 20,000 employees through half a day of training in sexual misconduct and sexual harassment. And then a few, executives went through follow-up training. Yeah, half a day for 25% of employees saying that they witnessed sexual harassment.
So worth it. So much effort put into it. Yeah.
They changed the head of HR because obviously a lot of these allegations were hidden by HR. So they changed the head of HR. However, a lot of people still say that no changes will happen from this because many of the people that were actually in charge of the sexual harassment allegations and stuff, the ones that seemingly hid it, are still working in HR. Okay?
Yeah, you can't just cut off the head and get rid of the... Can't get rid of... I don't know, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. They also changed a lot of the executives. A lot of the executives, did they get fired? No, they didn't get fired. What happened is they just got moved to another area of the company. These people that had sexual harassment allegations against them and rape charges, essentially, didn't get fired. They got moved to another section of the company. They just got moved. They're still working at Ubisoft. They just maybe not be as high up.
Yeah, I'll just put you over there instead.
Yeah. They're not getting rid of the problem, they're moving it. It's not like loads of people actually want jobs right now.
Exactly.
It's not like they're not going to be able to find people to replace these people, because of course they can. Yeah. And they did a couple other things. But Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft, the only thing he's ever said about this stuff that's happened is before Ubisoft Forward in September. So this is 4 months after the allegations came out. In September, he did a statement. He made a video on YouTube. He posted to YouTube and Twitter, highlighting some things that happened and saying, there's internal investigations and this is what we're doing. We're doing good. That's all he said. It was a scripted, soulless and lifeless, political publicity stunt. There was no he did not write it. He did not write it at all. He definitely didn't. Now, I believe Yves should step down or be fired, and the CEO of Ubisoft should change. Because there's two sides of this coin, right? Either Yves knew about these sexual harassments and did nothing about it, and he was like, "Oh, it's fine, whatever," and just wrote it off. Or he didn't know about them, and he just proves he is incompetent to be CEO and doesn't see what's right in front of him. Now, both of those circumstances
really
to me,
like how much they care.
Absolutely. Like, both those circumstances to me are as bad as each other. If anything, I think the latter is worse. Like, him just not knowing about what's going on in his company. Nah, he needs to go. The stockholders, and the board, they need to make the decision to let him go and hire someone who's actually going to make a change in the company. Now,
somebody who actually cares about the things that are happening. Exactly, yeah.
Exactly. And is that so hard? Not really. Every other company does it, so you could do it. Yeah. So after this happened, a few people took to Twitter, and they took a hashtag that was already existed. It's been used a few times in the past, but they used their audience to make it a lot bigger. I'm talking about a lot of the four pillars, especially Lasers or James Welford. He was a big person to
massive Ubisoft fans in the past with Assassin's Creed and everything.
Exactly. So he really boosted with his audience this HoldUbisoftAccountable hashtag, right? And he started this almost movement, and now it's just a thing that we're all doing to try and hold Ubisoft accountable. That's all we want. All we want is there to be justice within the company and for changes. The biggest one, for Eve to step down or be fired, and for a new CEO, because that is the biggest thing, and I don't think we'll actually ever see change until that happens. And we're not against anyone. We're just against this big billion-dollar company that's soulless. It's not a person, it's a business. It's a conglomerate. It's a global, it's an international conglomerate.
Exactly. They really don't care about, like, their obviously employees and even the consumer at this point. They're just trying to make money with whatever methods they can.
They don't. Ubisoft are a company. They only care about money and their sales and everything like that. They don't care about you. They don't care about their employees, as we can see, except for the rapists. They care about those people.
Just gently moving them instead of cutting them out.
Trying to make we're trying to make a voice to get the word out there, because not everyone knows about this. Since the kind of movement started, so many people have messaged other people, including me. I've received many messages from people actually replies asking why are we saying hold Ubisoft accountable, because they just don't know, because it's not in the mainstream.
Exactly. We need to.
So that's why we're trying to make it the mainstream. Exactly. So that's what we're trying to do. Now, people are saying that spreading a hashtag won't actually solve anything. You're right, it won't. The hashtag is literally just there to spread the word and get more people on this kind of thing. It's not. Ubisoft will see it and they won't care. They'll be like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't really matter to them. That's not going to do anything.
It's just small people on Twitter. It's not going to affect their revenue or anything.
Exactly. But what we're doing is getting as many people on board to make a stand and spread the word out, and ultimately stop buying Ubisoft products. I mean, they don't make good games, so it should be very easy to do.
It's not very difficult, yeah.
It's not difficult. Just stop buying them. Why? You can't go out there and support a company that have willingly just hidden sexual harassment claims and sexual misconduct allegations and just deny to it, and you're going to go support that company. And I have to really you have to ask yourself, what are your priorities? I mean, come on. So I'm
people's well-being and health, or fun game, yay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm joining the stand.
Yeah.
And I'm not not buying any Ubisoft products until changes happen. I'm not going to support them on my channel either, and on Twitch. I don't have the energy for that company anymore, and I it's not going to be difficult. They don't make good games anymore, so does it matter? No. But yeah, so I really do hope as many people out there kind of join this, because the more numbers we have, the easier it would be, because that's it really. So Jake, about like just what I said, like what do you kind of think about that?
Oh, about the whole thing in general? I mean, first things first, an internal investigation isn't going to uncover much at all. I think they really need to get, I don't know, some sort of like foreign body to really investigate and show where the problem is. And first, their actions, I mean, more so the like lack of actions really shows how much they don't care. They're just trying to almost do it for public, like publicity, be like, oh yeah, we're doing stuff, we swear. But obviously, internally they're not at all. They're just moving people around rather than cutting out the tumours per se, I guess. Is a very blunt but true way of saying it.
No, that's absolutely right. I think I agree, actually. I didn't really think of that, but like, yeah, they should get a foreign body in and properly investigate what's going on. But the fact is, they just don't want to do that because they don't want anything to uncover. They want to keep it hidden. They want to keep it out of the public eye. I mean, look when Eve did his announcement, his apology video, whatever the fuck he did. Was it in the Ubisoft Forward? Was it in it? No, it was released like half an hour before the Ubisoft Forward. And they said, oh, we couldn't put in Ubisoft Forward because it was too late and we didn't have enough time.
More like they just didn't want it to come to light as much, yeah. Because if they're investigating themselves, they can really hide and show whatever they want. They really have all the power there. Exactly.
So many more people would have watched that Ubisoft Forward than people that watched that video. And we have a Ubisoft Forward on Saturday. Are people going to watch it? Will Ubisoft do talk about everything that happened in it?
They won't, yeah.
Of course they won't, because it's E3, so even more people will be watching it, and they don't want people to know. They don't want the mainstream audience to know what's going on, but they need to know, and that's why we need to spread the hashtag.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's so incredible. In the replies to every single Ubisoft tweet now, all I see is like, HoldUbisoftAccountable spam. It's so good.
That's what we want.
You've got to get the message out there, and I guarantee every single person that does one of those replies, at least one person will be like, wait, what is this? On every single tweet. More and more people are finding out as it goes on, and don't let it stop. Keep going, because that's what we need.
Don't let it die out. Yeah. What we really need is someone like PlayStation or Xbox to almost remove the Ubisoft games, or to lock Ubisoft games until some serious action kick, because that will sort things out, almost like what PlayStation did with Cyberpunk and removing it from its store.
That would be huge. That would be huge. I doubt Xbox ever would, but I can see. I don't know. PlayStation might,
or maybe at least acknowledge it. Just some like more powerful body needs to acknowledge it, and then that's when things will start moving and more things will be taken seriously and more effects will be taking place.
What we need is like bigger YouTubers to pick it up, because it's all about like, the four pillars who have their audience, and everyone in their audience pretty much is on their side, right?
It's a very closed circle, almost, their audience. Like it doesn't really overlap into much main media gaming, I guess.
Exactly. So I think we need to get bigger YouTubers on board. Like, I'm not going to call out any names because, but there are these bigger, like, Let's Play YouTubers, for example, who play the Ubisoft games and praise it and love the games. And that's fine. You can love the games, you can play them if you must. But we need to get them to send out the message as well, because their audience is way bigger, and it's a very different audience as well. And like, you can tell when there's people like those bigger YouTubers who are, working with Ubisoft and are partners with them, and they're never going to say a bad word about them, because Ubisoft are very, very good at community outreach. They're very good at supporting the YouTubers that support them. They give them free games. They give them giveaway codes and promo stuff. They give them extra like little things. Ubisoft have done that amazingly. They've done it amazingly for ages, and they make these very loyal customers, these very loyal influencers at the end of the day. And you can tell when you're looking, you can tell who those people are, and you can tell
it's really obvious. I bet they look like they've been brainwashed almost.
Yeah, and it's like they're not going to be blind. Like, these people are going to know what's going on within Ubisoft. They're not, they're in the industry, so they know about it, but they're still turning a blind eye and are still like, no, we're not going to do anything about it, because to them, getting the money they get from doing videos on Ubisoft is worth more than the safety and lives of 14,000 people. And that's just from the survey.
That is absurd.
There's more employees.
I mean, with an average of like a quarter of them, I mean, I don't know how many people Ubisoft employ, but I'm presuming that percentage stays the same throughout the whole company.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it? Because that survey wasn't just in certain branches. That was like every single branch in Ubisoft. It's just ridiculous. Like, yeah. So that's what it's what we got to do. I want to talk about a couple comments we've got from people. Find it
on the podcast channel.
So Juice says something interesting. Juice Source. He says, I think that the boycott will end up just harming the devs. They'll just end up getting fired, having their pay cut, or having more hostility towards them. Now, I get your point of view, and I understand why. This is the big argument. Like, loads of people are like, boycott Ubisoft, don't buy their products, don't support them, and loads of people are like, but it's going to harm the devs. Is it? Would it? Like, it depends. If like, because I understand your point of view where you think, Ubisoft just going to see it and think, the game was bad. The game was bad, so it, that's why people didn't buy it. But like,
that's what the
Ubisoft also
think, yeah. Well, the board's
Ubisoft
gonna think.
But like, would they though? Because Ubisoft aren't blind. They still see what's going on social media. They still see, that people are. They won't be. They'll know that there are a lot of people out there with the intent to boycott them. They're not going to be blind to that. So like, at the end of the day, we're trying to get change in the company. We're trying to get something to actually happen. So these devs, these people that actually are good, who aren't, these aren't these executives who are doing all these things. Like, most of the devs are actually, good employees.
Who actually care for their games and care for the thing they're working on.
Exactly. Like, by boycotting, we're hopefully making their experience at work, at their jobs they like to do, better. And I prefer to boycott the company for a couple years, hopefully to get some change, and then, everything be nice and good, and all the issues sorted out. So the people who need to be fired are fired. Eves is gone, and the devs are actually working in a company where they're respected, they feel safe, they're not harassed. That's what I think. For me, that's my priority is that. And if devs get fired or pay cuts, that just shows even more hostility against Ubisoft. It just shows how much worse their company is.
Yeah, it's just even more ammunition for us almost, isn't it? Being like, this is perfect evidence, have some more.
Exactly.
If they do that, it's almost like even further Ubisoft acknowledging it. Be like, yes. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I know. I've talked to Juice, and I know he's a big Far Cry fan, and he's very, very intent on getting Far Cry 6, and that's fair enough. If you want to play the game and you feel you want to play it, fine. But before you pre-order it or buy it, think about the company you are supporting. Think about the people that you're supporting. They don't care about you. They don't care about your purchase. They only care about the money and the sales and themselves. So think about that. But if you do want to play the game, that's fine. fine. I'm not a big Far Cry fan, so I'm not very interested.
Yeah.
But if you do want to play the game, which is fair enough, I get it, if you do, think about getting it secondhand. Think about getting it secondhand a little day. Wait a few weeks, get it secondhand, because that money has already been taken. Like,
I was going to say, that's a good shout. That doesn't support the company at all. Yeah,
it's not. You're not supporting Ubisoft at all by buying it secondhand because it's already bought. As long as you get the game and then just don't buy any microtransactions, because that would support the company.
They'll be in there. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fair. Because that's what I would do if there was a Ubisoft game that I did desperately want to play. There isn't, and there never will be.
I was going to say, don't think you can bring yourself to do it, regardless if you're supporting them or not.
Exactly. If there desperately was, think about getting it secondhand, because that's the next best thing. It's either boycott completely, or just get it secondhand, because you're not supporting the company. The person who bought that copy is. That's fair. They saw the light and decided to sell it.
You. Yeah.
Yeah. But, I'm sure you can wait a couple weeks. You wouldn't even have to wait that long. Like, there's literally people putting things on the next day for secondhand a lot of the time. So, yeah.
It's pretty fast turnover, yeah.
Think about doing that, Juice. And I hope you do, because I'd hate to have to ban you from the Discord. Joking.
And your mod status.
Yeah. Alfie, the cabbage farmer, he says, it's an Assassin's Creed reference, dude.
Already failing there, come on.
Thoughts on whether Eve will step down? Probably not, knowing the cunt. I don't know.
Step down, quotation marks. Forced.
He wouldn't step down. I think, if anything, it's the board of directors that would have to, and the stockholders, they'd have to make a stand and force him to step down, basically.
Precisely. He's not going anywhere unless he's, as you said, forced.
He's really not. The difficult thing is Ubisoft is a family company. Like, it was like him and 4 of the brothers that founded Ubisoft. So it's difficult because it's family.
They're all so close to each other, yeah.
But he's a cock, so he needs to go. Basically. Ben says, sadly, I don't have an ability to articulate my thoughts like you or James. Well, thanks, dude. I try. That video, the HoldUbisoftAccountable video I made, literally took me like 5 hours to write that script. Not even joking. So it took me a while to get those. It's like a 20-minute video. It was like maybe 5 to 6 hours. Like, I was very, very adamant of getting all the facts right and being very clear on everything. So that's why. But believe me, the first draft was.
It's like the first draft was just ramble. Then the second one was like, okay, now here's some facts as well.
I did I did the first thing where like just off notes, and I was like, I recorded it just off notes, and I was like, nah, I can't do this. I have to write a full script.
Of course, yeah, I can imagine. Because you want everything to be accurate as well, don't you? Mm-hmm. Unless you don't want to spread the misinformation.
Exactly. I'd suggest, obviously, I haven't watched the video from anyone out there. If you haven't watched the video and you want to hear my thoughts in a lot more of a direct and like put together way, it's not just about the sexual harassments. It's everything I feel is wrong with Ubisoft, from microtransactions and their business deals to the way they make their games, to the way they handle females in the games, the female characters, and also the sexual harassment stuff. It's literally all of that. I suggest watching it. It's only 20 minutes, and I think it's a great watch, I believe. So please do. But yeah. Anyway, finish what Ben said. Now I've finished advertising. Thoughts like you or James when it comes to hold Ubisoft accountable, but regardless, Yves Guillemot has to go. All the abusers need to be fired, etc. And the only way to prove to Ubisoft that we are serious about all this is to stop buying their games, which is hardly a loss for us since they're all mediocre.
Precisely, yeah, what you're saying.
Exactly. I mean, like, yeah, come on. Yeah. Stop buying the games. Ben has it exactly right there. Just stop buying the games.
The more people it does it, the more effect it will have, and the more they'll pay attention.
Exactly. If they ever make changes, you can always go back and play the games if you've missed any. Anyway, How do you think Ubisoft's E3 will go? Will it be successful? Will they acknowledge the current situation? Time will tell. And yeah, choose life. That's what the man dem say.
I was going to say, where's this guy? And then I realised as soon as you said choose life, I was like, okay, yeah.
That's just going to be a thing now, isn't it? I do love it, though.
And please, we all know Ubisoft's E3 is going to be terrible. I mean, what are they going to show?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, Far Cry 6...
They've already shown. Have they shown gameplay yet?
Yeah, they did. I didn't watch it. I didn't see anything of it. It was weird. Like, to be fair, on Twitter I have got like Assassin's Creed muted. I've got Far Cry 6 muted. I've got so many fucking because I was just fed up. I was just fed up of seeing Ubisoft, and like when the Far Cry 6 gameplay came out, all I was seeing was like people saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get Far Cry 6." I just got mad. I was getting so mad, and I was like, I can't. I was like, I have to mute these words, otherwise I'm going to start responding to these people, and it's going to make my fucking mental health go on a breakdown. So I was like, nah, I'm muting that shit, muting that shit before I get involved. Anyway, so I did that, and best decision ever. I love it. Haven't seen anything from it. Anyway. Yeah, Far Cry 6. What else are they going to show? I don't know. Like Assassin's Creed, maybe.
Watch Dogs, like maybe a Watch Dogs DLC, Legion DLC. I don't even know if there already is DLC, to be honest.
Oh shit! I just ended the call with Jake. Fucking idiot. Sorry, Jake. Feel bad now. Just ended the call. Sorry. Wow, how rude. Sorry, Jake. I just ended the call.
Cool. I was going to say.
Sorry about that.
Ben's done speaking for the day.
There's also rumours of like a third Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC.
Yeah.
So...
They'll probably do like a mobile game as well.
Sorry?
They'll probably do like a mobile game or something as well.
Maybe. Oh, there's talks like of Assassin's Creed VR game of some shit. So
that Assassin's Creed VR won't work well because it's a third-person game anyway.
I don't know how it's going. Well, third-person does work well in VR. I've played a few good third-person games.
Right.
To be fair, but yeah, I get your point. Honestly, Ben, I don't actually care. I'm doing so much content of E3, like reaction videos and streams. I'm not doing one for Ubisoft. It's like the only event I'm not doing a reaction stream to. I don't even know if I'll watch it, quite frankly. So yeah, that's how I feel.
There's literally nothing like they could bring out that I would be like, oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
I literally cannot think of anything unless it's some like brand new IP. It's unlike them to do that, to be honest. I don't think they'll do that.
Exactly. Maybe we'll see Beyond Good and Evil 2 after like it being announced like 4 years ago and seeing nothing from it.
Unlikely.
Anyway. Yeah. So that's kind of Ubisoft. Sorry for it's been a bit of a long section when you've just not been that interested, but I feel like it is important.
Exactly, yeah. I feel more educated now. I'm glad I learned it. Yeah, I'll probably go and watch your video now because I wanted to share my first thoughts and reactions on the podcast.
Yeah, please do. Please do. So since we're on the topic already of E3, should we talk about that?
Sounds good to me.
E3 starting this week, boys. Yeah, I'm so excited. I think it starts like Thursday. Well, the first event is like Saturday. Ubisoft Forward, I think. But
it's their own
But like Thursday is Summer Games Fest kickoff live, and I'm just going to count that as the start of E3, even though it isn't.
Basically,
I'm counting it.
I mean, it's the same like period, isn't it? It's like just a tag along.
Exactly. It's like, but dude, I reckon the Summer Games Fest kickoff live event's gonna be good. It's like the only event I can actually do a live reaction to, so that's fun.
Oh, that's a shame because you're working or just busy.
I'm literally working all weekend. I was off this weekend. I've been off this weekend. It's been great. Had a weekend off.
I actually saw you. Yeah.
But I wish I had next weekend off instead, and I worked this weekend, because if I was off next weekend, I could have done reactions to the Microsoft event, to Square Enix, to everything, the Warner Brothers event that we should be getting. But I'm going to be at work during them. I'm gutted,
Blair work, am I right?
I know. But yeah. But anyway, we've got a kick-off live event, which is Jeff Keighley's doing his thing. He's been teasing it. It's going to be about a 2-hour event, apparently.
Which is quite a time. So what do you think they're going to fill with it then?
So they've got partners. They've got like loads and loads of partners, apparently. So they've got... apparently there's going to be over 30 games featured. A lot of them are going to be new reveals as well. And they've got people like... why can't I find the exact...
I can hear you clicking around.
I know, I can't find the exact... the exact website for it? Live partners. But anyway, so they got...
Tap.
Okay, here we are. So the partners at Summer Games Fest this year, so any of these people could show up on Thursday. 2K, right. Activision, Amazon Games.
Oh, Amazon. What's it called?
I don't know.
New World? They had a game. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, New World. That sounds about right.
Yeah.
And Annapurna Interactive. Don't know what they do. Bandai Namco.
That's interesting.
So, you know, Elden Ring. Battle State, Blizzard, Capcom, Devolver Digital,
Devolver Digital has got some good stuff. I haven't heard of them before.
Nah. EA, Epic Games, Finji, Frontier, Gearbox, Hi-Rez, don't know, Inner Sloth, Koch Media, Jake. Do you remember Koch Media?
Yes, I do.
Mediatonic, MiHoYo, Psyonix, Raw Fury, Riot Games, Saber Interactive, Sega, Steam.
Oh, that's interesting.
Steam, Square Enix, Tribeca, Tencent Games,
Warner Bros. Clash of Clans, yeah.
Warner Bros, Ubisoft, Wizards of the Coast, Xbox, most notably...
Oh, Wizards of the Coast is D&D stuff, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Most notably...
My nerd coming through there.
PlayStation.
Ooh. PlayStation. Summer Game Fest is really kind of like taking over E3 slightly with all these like big, like they're not. There's obviously a few small ones, but there's quite a few big ones too.
A lot of big ones. I mean, like PlayStation don't have their own event. They haven't announced one at least. So
no state of play.
Are the only PlayStation stuff we're gonna see over E3 gonna be on Thursday?
At the Summer Games Fest? Who knows?
I don't know. Like we haven't got. I think we'll have a state of play soon, but like you know, it stands to reason we'll see stuff on Thursday. I'm hoping for some Warner Brothers action though. I want to see that Hogwarts Legacy.
Precisely. We've hardly seen anything from it.
Exactly. And Bandai Namco, Elden Ring, boys. Elden Ring.
Exactly.
But I'm excited for that event. It's gonna be very interesting.
Honestly, and obviously, all of that will probably be more exciting than the rest of the E3 combined.
Maybe. Honestly, I'm most excited for Microsoft and Bethesda this year.
I remember
it's all in one event. And honestly, they've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline. They could do a lot of stuff. They could show Fable, Starfield, new Forza, Halo, a new IP potentially. The amount they could show on Sunday is mad.
That is interesting.
Could be a game-changing event. Really?
Do you think they'll show a new IP with all like I don't know.
What do you mean?
Do you think Microsoft will show a new IP?
Well, they'll have a new IP for sure. At least it might not be a big one, but there'll be new IPs.
No, I mean they're going to have an indie game montage.
Oh, of course! It's on my bingo, boys.
I was trying to find your bingo, but I don't think you posted it on the Discord, or at least it's not very like easy to find.
I don't know. But yeah, and then obviously we've got Square Enix, which is my baby. I'm hoping for some news. I want to see some Final Fantasy 16 because I'm really, really interested in that. It's probably going to be, unless I get round to finally finishing Final Fantasy 7 Remake, it'll probably be my first Final Fantasy game.
That seems very likely, yeah.
And then maybe a new Kingdom Hearts game. Fingers crossed. They announce if they announce. Oh, boys.
When was the last Kingdom Hearts announcement?
Been last year. For Melody of Memory.
Oh, yeah, of course. How often do they normally announce them? Like,
well, it depends.
That's true.
I mean, Melody of Memory was announced that year and came out that year, but it was only a very short. Like, it was a rhythm game. It wasn't like a main title.
That, yeah. So they are due a main
Kingdom
title
Hearts
then.
3. Kingdom Hearts 3 came out 2019. I think it was announced 2016.
When did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out? Or like 2.03 Rechain Memory?
2002 came out 2007.
2007.
2002. Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2 came out 2007. I don't know when that got announced.
That's a long time ago. So I was going to say, will it follow the whole 2-year structure? But it's like 2007, 2019.
I think you can't guess of Kingdom Hearts. Like, they just do random stuff. I think I am really hoping, because they have this mobile game, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and Dark Roads. And it's recently finished. Like, they've had like story come out gradually over time.
Oh, on this mobile game.
On this mobile game.
That's interesting.
I haven't played it. I've never really got into it. Apparently though, the story is like huge, and it's so important for the full Kingdom Hearts story, and it changes everything.
Mobile game. Yeah,
it changes everything, and this is what just Nomura does. He's just he puts all this really important story and side stuff. So I'm hoping for like kind of a remake of that game into a console version, and it could use like Kingdom Hearts 3 engine or something else. It doesn't really matter. They could use a lot of the same assets and same thing, and just kind of how they've done like Rechain of Memories, they've remade a couple of the older games for modern consoles.
No, but yes, carry on.
That's what they've done. I hope they do that for this, because it'd be such a great thing, and I hope that's what gets announced. But
almost like a Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time thing, where they use the same assets. It was developed really quickly. That sort of thing.
Basically, if they do any kind of Kingdom Hearts related announcement, I'll lose it.
I know.
I'll scream.
It'll be one of those like reaction screens where you see like the middle-aged men losing their shit.
It literally would be though. I can't wait. I'm expecting it. I'm gonna be so disappointed there isn't an announcement, and like 98% chance there won't be.
I know. But it sounds like you've really got your hopes up. I feel really disappointed on behalf of you, although there's like no sign of it being announced or not being announced. So
I know it's not gonna happen, but hey,
one can hope, right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's what E3 is full of. It's just like, it's almost like Christmas, but it's like really like unsure Christmas. Like, you have no idea. It could be terrible or it could be great. It's a really mixed bag.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's how that be. But yeah, I do need to. I think if they don't make an announcement, I'll probably like watch all the cutscenes or something on YouTube, just so I get the story, because I want to know because people's talking about it on Discord and Twitter, and I'm like, I want to know what's going on, and it's so out of context. I'm like, it's so out of context. I'm so confused what they're talking about, because it's like it's just gone crazy, and like what?
Can't even get the gist of it almost.
I know. So I need to watch it, the cutscenes really, but yeah. So we've got Square Enix, and also we've got Bandai Namco apparently are doing their own event, and Warner Brothers are doing their own event.
I mean, Warner Brothers doing their own event is a good sign of Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy, sorry.
But like, they've also got Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, so it's like they might focus on those things, and a couple of, they got another game as well, I think. Can't quite remember, but I swear Hogwarts Legacy is like, oh boy, can't wait. It's coming out next year though, so you'd expect something like just a trailer.
It's almost like I mean, there was a really massive delay with like oh god, what was I going to say? I was going to say God of War, but no, that's been delayed till next year, hasn't it?
Yes, it did.
In terms of the trailers being like, we should have seen a trailer by now, but then it got delayed. To everyone's surprise. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. We're going to be delayed. I mean, it hasn't even got anyway, yeah, it hasn't even got a date.
It got delayed to 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we're going to go now into some E3 predictions, boys. I think what we'll do, Jake, is we'll do like 3 predictions each or something.
Oh, right. Can we have 3 main predictions and just a bunch of other speculation? Because
okay. I want to go first because I will. Xbox event. Also, you can't steal mine, so
okay. That's fine. You're gonna go first then, so I'll be screwed.
Yeah, I've already started, so there's no backseat now. Basically, I did the intro, so I get dibs.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah.
Anyway, Microsoft event. We get a Starfield trailer, and it's mostly cinematic, but there's like bits of like gameplay in there. You know what I mean? Like not gameplay, but like game. You know what I mean? Like gameplay trailer.
Yeah,
but not like demoed gameplay.
Teaser. Yeah.
So it's like that. Mostly like a story, kind of just introduce the world and the story and like what's going on, but you won't understand how the game's played yet. Basically,
100%. That makes sense to me.
We'll get at that, and then we'll have at the end, it will say February 2022.
February 2022.
I think it'll be coming out February 2022.
That seems about right to me.
It's supposed to come out this year, but we've seen nothing of it.
Again, it's
I don't
God
think
of
it's
War
coming
situation.
out this year. I don't think it's coming out this year. February 2022, Starfield. We'll get a trailer, but it would be like world building and cinematic story, that kind of thing. You'll see like planets and space shit. You'll get an understanding of the game, but we'll have no idea how it plays. There'll be gameplay, like there'll be gameplay trailer, if you know what I mean, but it won't be demoed gameplay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's my prediction. What's yours?
It'll be one of those classic like E3 trailers that you compare to when the game comes out. And it's like, wow, look at this E3 trailer compared to the actual game.
Yeah, basically.
Oh dear.
And it'll be Xbox PC exclusive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, that's a given. Yeah. And we already know that's confirmed.
Oh, is it? Is it actually confirmed?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it was confirmed.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah. Well, there we go. Jake, you got a prediction?
My prediction. I feel like Naughty Dog's going to bring out a new IP.
Do you?
But it's going to be something. It's not going to be. I have a feeling it's going to be quite. If I was to put a genre, it would be sci-fi. Because I mean, they've done a lot of like grounded to earth sort of thing. They've got apocalyptic. They have obviously. Oh god.
Tomb Treasure Hunter.
Treasure Hunter.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say Tomb Raider. Yeah, Treasure Hunter, that sort of thing. So I feel like they're going to try something new. After how Smart Games doing well, I think PlayStation is going to be a little bit more open to new concepts and new ideas, and so they're going to let their studios develop on more interesting things, like not something they're used to. So maybe some sort of like new Naughty Dog IP that isn't like normal for them, if that makes sense.
I mean, The Last of Us
was... Is that too vague? Or...
Hold up. The Last of Us was very different from Uncharted.
I guess so, yeah.
Naughty Dog have always had that free reign of doing what they've wanted, really. I mean, Sony have kind of held them, like, called them back a bit. Like, you think, like, The Last of Us 1, you know the opening? With playing as Sarah, and obviously, you know, the whole opening of The Last of Us.
20 years later, yeah.
Neil Druckmann wanted that whole section to be cinematic, just a cutscene.
Right.
But PlayStation were like, nah, you need to have some gameplay in there. But, you know, Naughty Dog have always kind of been like bold and doing what they want. PlayStation kind of just reigned them back a bit. So I see some of your point, but I don't know. I feel like if Naughty Dog wanted to do something ever, like Naughty Dog did Jak and Daxter, a platformer game.
That's true, yeah.
And then they were like, oh, now we're going to make this Uncharted game where it's like Tomb Raider, but it's not. Like, that could have very easily become a Tomb Raider clone. But Uncharted is its own IP in its own right. It's its own incredible IP. And then they were like, after 3 Uncharted games, like, oh, now we're going to do this very, very story story-heavy post-apocalyptic game, but the zombies aren't important. The game could be, if there was no zombies, the game would be exactly the same, which nothing had ever done that before. You know, it was all about the characters and the story, which was very, very different from what Naughty Dog did again before, because Uncharted is story-based, but it's never that story-based.
No, it's more about the puzzle solving and
exactly.
The gunfights and that.
The combat. So I don't think PlayStation ever hold back their studios. Look at Sucker Punch. I mean, they made the infamous series. And then they went ahead and made Ghost of Tsushima.
God, I keep forgetting that's the same studio.
They had no right to make that. They had no reputation of making, you know, historic RPGs and like stories, like storytelling like that. Whereas PlayStation were like, sure. And what they make? An incredible game that sold thousands. I mean, way more than that. I didn't know the exact number, but
thousands. That's a bit low.
Thousands. Let's go. And it's this brand new IP that is for sure going to get a sequel. Yeah.
Hey, maybe we'll get a new Sucker Punch thing. Maybe a Ghost of Tsushima follow-up
sequel. One prediction at a time, man. Come on.
There's so much possibility.
So, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I don't think PlayStation would ever hold back a studio.
No, I mean, maybe they'll probably start taking more risks as such, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Anyway, so go back to your Naughty Dog IP prediction.
Yeah,
detail it out.
Naughty Dog IP. I don't think if they were to, I don't think it would be like a single player experience, such as like The Last of Us or Uncharted. I don't know, maybe they could dabble with some multiplayer stuff.
Oh, please don't.
I know. Maybe they'll do it well for once, you know.
No, Jake, don't make these words. What are you doing? Dear. You're suggesting Naughty Dog, the king of single-player linear games, to make a multiplayer game. What are you chatting?
Dear, I don't know.
Oh god!
It'd just be interesting. I feel like there'll definitely be a new Naughty Dog IP though. There's got to be something. It's been a while since they've done something brand new.
Mm-hmm. When do you think it'll be announced though?
Announced? Oh, it'll probably just be like, when do you think it'll be announced?
Yeah.
At the Summer Games Fest?
At Summer Games Fest kickoff live?
Yeah, I presume so. Maybe they'll show like a very short, like 5-second teaser trailer. That they won't reveal anything. Maybe they'll do like a state of play, like a month or 2, 3 later, and then they'll have some actual like proper like a long cinematic trailer, which may set some basis.
Okay.
I don't know. That's quite specific.
Interesting.
For dates and timings, but who knows? Anyway,
that's fine.
Go on. What's your second one?
I want you to. It's not enough, Jake. I want you to detail a bit more of the new IP. What is this new IP?
Oh god, I don't have the specificity to think.
But come on, your predictions are so vague.
I mean, what was your prediction? I've already forgotten.
Starfield.
Oh yeah, but that's a lame prediction. Come on, of course it's going to be Starfield.
I gave a release month.
That's true, yeah.
And I detailed what would be in the trailer.
But we really know they're going to show it off anyway, because in the whole Bethesda Microsoft thing, there's like the outline of the planet and everything.
Fine. All right, you know what? What? I'll do you one better.
Go on. Show me up.
When they announce the Starfield trailer, Tom Cruise will be in it.
Well, the whole, like, the first film in space thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got
you. All right, fine. I'll let you off this once, Jake.
Okay, and I'll let you off this once. Hey, this isn't a thing. I don't even know.
Alright, let me do my next prediction.
Go on.
Nintendo press conference, whatever. Nintendo Direct.
I know what you're going to say, yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Probably.
They're going to end it. They'll go, but we have one more thing.
Exactly.
And then it will cut to some cartoony, real-world looking place. And at some point, a cap will fly onto the screen. And after it will be Mario running. And there'll be a bit of Mario. And then Mario will probably grab his cap. And then it will go to Super Mario Odyssey 2. 2022.
2. 2.
My prediction, boys.
That's
at the
fair.
end, I think it's gonna. If it comes out 2022 November, probably 5 years after the first game released. I mean,
Was Mario Odyssey really 5 years ago?
2017, dude.
Oh my god.
Like Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 was like 3 years difference. So like, I don't know. It seems plausible to me.
That's horrible. I did not realize how old that is. God, that time passed. It only felt like a couple of years ago I just got my Switch, but then it was like 5 years ago.
It's mad, really. Anyway, what do you think of that prediction then? Good.
Yeah, it's a good prediction. I like how specific it is.
Thank you, Jake.
I knew that's what you aim for. Running.
I'd lose it. Oh, I'm so up for an Odyssey 2. I really do. I love Odyssey so much.
Mario Odyssey was a great game. Yeah.
I Odyssey, honestly, Odyssey might be my like top 10 games. I fucking love it. I need to replay it at some point. Everyone's gonna take this out of context and like have it be fucking Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna fucking die now. Anyway,
they're gonna cut you saying Assassin's Creed. I love it so much.
No, it's gonna be like they're gonna get a random clip of me saying Assassin's Creed and then they're gonna stretch it going Assassin's Creed Odyssey 2. Odyssey is my favorite game or whatever the fuck.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is my favorite game of all time.
Well, that you just said it. You've just viewed it.
Shit. Anyway, that's your turn.
Okay. I mean, to be fair, I thought you were going to say like a Breath of the Wild clip then. Which, I mean, yeah, I think they are going to show something, let's be real. Oh god, I really did not prepare my predictions or anything. I'm terrible at this. Why am I here?
It's alright, I can end the call and do it on my own.
Yeah, that's fine. See you later. I'll just go.
Good idea. There's so many things you could do.
I know. Okay, since we're on the topic of Nintendo, this is my hopefully optimistic bit.
Here we go, boys.
Kid Icarus. Please. Oh no, I just knocked my microphone. That's going to sound wobbly. But just Kid Icarus, please.
Is that your prediction? Kid Icarus?
Yeah, I'm yeah. I bet they're going to show like a 5-6 second trailer. And it's just going to be the sky. And then you're going to hear Pit with his like classic childish voice say something. And then you're going to hear Lady Palutena say something too. And that'll be the trailer. It'll probably be something generic, but like, are you ready for the next adventure? Or something. No, that sounds stupid. They won't say that. I don't know. And I think they're going to like join that in with a whole like Switch Pro.
Okay.
I don't even know. They might show off the Switch Pro and then
how many fucking predictions are you doing?
Well, it's going to come into one. Bear with me. I'm looping around.
Alright, I'll bear with you.
So they show off the Switch Pro and then like Kid Icarus, the next one, whatever it's going to be called. It's going to be one of its release titles.
Okay.
Boom. That's not even really an E3 prediction, isn't it? That's just a prediction for the far future.
Release date?
Holiday 2020.
This year?
This year, 2021, sorry. The Switch Pro. Not Kid Icarus.
You think,
oh, no.
Oh, shit, you think it's come out this year? And Kid Icarus?
No, that doesn't line up, especially not Kid Icarus. Man, I'm all over the place.
Why not?
It's way too soon. They're not going to... I mean, what month are we in?
Jake, I mean, they announced the Switch in December. It came out in March. And... they also announced Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. No, not Breath of the Wild.
I was going to say, Odyssey. Yeah, they announced that years before, yeah.
They announced Odyssey, Splatoon 2, ARMS, like all these other games like coming out in the launch window of the Switch. Only like 4 months before it came out.
That's true. Thank you for like backing up my prediction, even if I'm not. That's what I was thinking, especially the PS5 next ones. They really did not show any details, especially the price, still quite like later on as well, didn't they? So
yeah.
Potentially. They're definitely going to show off the Switch Pro at some point. I mean, we've seen the rumours, like, it's going to be announced today, and it's not. It's going to be E3. It just makes sense to...
I don't know, but I don't think we'll see Switch Pro at the Direct.
You don't think so?
Nope.
Why is that, do you think, then?
Well, when they gave the information for the Direct, they said strictly just software.
Ah, I see. Oh, that screws up.
They could be lying to like deter us away from it, but I don't think it's going to happen.
As you said, they'll do that classic and one more thing to show.
Nah, the one more thing will be Odyssey 2. Odyssey 2.
That's that sort of like game, isn't it? You know, they'll probably show some like Splatoon 3, because remember in the first trailer when there was like just the wasteland and everyone was really confused, being like Splatoon 3 like single player mode. Maybe they'll potentially show off something to do with that as well. That's a good shout for you.
That's a good shout. All right, before we go into our last predictions, should we go into like what the guys in the Discord are saying?
That's a good shout.
So we'll alternate. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Okay, so this is from Juice again, who's making another appearance here. He's saying, before my predictions were Starfield gameplay and Far Cry 6 gameplay, or he had Far Cry 6 gameplay the other day. Praying or high five emoji. Nobody really knows if it's praying or high five emoji, but there it is.
It definitely just praying.
Yeah.
Who the fuck says it's high fiving?
But I still wouldn't be surprised if we get something more. Maybe a longer, less cut demo of Far Cry 6 gameplay. Yeah. And I'm still sticking with Starfield gameplay at Microsoft/Bethesda conference. Yeah, I mean, Starfield, I feel like the Starfield prediction is like quite a low hanging fruit. Like, yeah, we know it's going to be something in there, right?
We have to. We have to get Starfield.
But to be fair, you said gameplay, but as you said, I don't think there'll be full-on gameplay. Now, as you said, I feel like it'll be the classic, like, really cut-together gameplay in with a cinematic trailer.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get any gameplay, like demoed gameplay. I think we'll have to wait until, like, maybe Gamescom.
September time-ish, and then it comes out near... No, I mean, February, that's quite a late release. No, that would line up if it's like September. It's more than
fine. I don't think we'll see like demoed gameplay, personally. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
That'd be a nice surprise. Yeah.
All right, Isak. Also, and Far Cry 6. Who the fuck cares? Isak. He says, my main prediction is that Elden Ring won't be shown off again, or if it will, then it'll be a short teaser, 40 seconds max. Dude, make your mind up. Say Elden Ring won't be shown, or there's a short teaser. Personally,
you're right either way at that point.
Personally, I would love if it was shown, but I don't think it will be.
No,
I don't. I know Bandai Namco are doing their own event, but I don't know what it's for. I don't think it's for Elden Ring.
What stuff they got going on at the moment?
I don't actually know. No. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong, because that's what I want to see out of everything. Elden Ring, like, yeah. But I don't think it's happening, honestly. I think it's going to be probably not come out till 2023. I think it'll be another year till we see anything. Honestly. Unfortunately.
Sad, but
this would be sad, but I think just with everything that's happened last year, production has been stunted quite a lot. But yeah, because I think we'd have seen stuff by now if it was coming out this year or next year, personally.
Have we actually seen a teaser trailer? I can't even remember.
We've seen a title card.
Oh yes, that was it. Yeah.
And like a little weird little cinematic cutscene
or something.
But it was nothing. Oh yeah, there's like the 6 second of leaked gameplay, which we don't know if it's Elden Ring or not. But if it is, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go next boy?
Sure. Joe says, Breath of the Wild 2. Please inject that into my veins. And if it doesn't happen, I'll have to reconsider life.
That's fair. I think we'll see Breath of the Wild 2. And if we don't, I mean, I don't know
what Nintendo's doing. I don't know when they're going to show it off. Yeah.
Yeah. If it's supposed to be coming out this year, we'll see it.
Yeah.
For sure. I hope we do, because I'd like to. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I don't know if they'll show much. Like, I don't know. Do they need to show us gameplay? I mean, how different is it going to be?
Like, yeah. Maybe they'll show like a more story trailer, right?
I hope so.
So we know when it's set. But obviously after Breath of the Wild. Well, I mean, yeah, it could be prequel. Who knows? That's a good point, actually. It could be before Link. I know we do know it's after. I don't know. There'll be like some sort of story game. There's some sort of story trailer to really help us, like, to show us when it's going to be set or something. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I think we'll see some Breath of the Wild 2, dude. I think we will.
That seems good.
Eddie's made an appearance on our podcast, isn't it? Oh, he messaged me. We didn't message me. We were having a chat on the Discord, and what were we talking about? I think we were talking about Pokemon, and I was like, "Oh, I've never actually played a Pokemon game."
I remember you saying, and everyone was like, "What? You've never played a Pokemon game?"
I know.
You are now not the true gamer now. You are now the fake gamer.
Oh, it's mad. It's dumb. But Eddie was like, "I'm okay." I can't remember what it said exactly, but it was like, "I'm now going to I'm now going to politely what's it called? Politely invite myself onto your podcast so I can humiliate you and Jake on the podcast." So that's happening.
Humiliate me? Why? Humiliating you because you haven't played Pokemon? But
I think it's because we're just associated to each other. I think, you just get the rebound of it. So.
Oh, lovely. I'm in trouble for not introducing it to you, obviously, when we were younger.
Yeah, basically. I honestly, I don't know how I've never played Pokemon.
I know, because I was so into it. I played
You did.
Oh god, Heart Gold, Silver, Sapphire, and
I feel like a
Black
Pokemon
1,
fan would know
Black
this.
2. It's so long ago though. I did it 100%. I played Black 1 and 2, and I absolutely love those games. But like a funny name, it was like Heart Gold Silver, and that was the Blue Sapphire. God, I can't even remember. It was so long ago, honestly. But I definitely remember Black 1 and 2. That was like my sort of Pokemon games when I was growing up. And I'm still so surprised you haven't played it. It's absurd. What were you playing on the DS younger? Lego
when
games?
I was playing on my DS, I literally wasn't playing shit. I had so many random games. I had very, very few Nintendo IPs. I didn't have any Zeldas. I didn't have any Mario. I didn't have any Pokemon. I had Mario 64 DS, and that's it for Mario.
Oh, yeah.
And I had just random third-party games. That's what I played on my DS. It was stupid.
A sad childhood. No. You know what would be good if it was announced, a 2D Mario game for the Switch, like a brand new, because we haven't seen a brand new, apart from like Mario Maker, but that's I wouldn't count as a proper one.
That would be nice.
We have like Super Mario Wii U enhanced Super whatever version, God knows. Obviously that was on the Wii U, wasn't it? So
yeah, I'd love a 2D Mario. 2D Mario is great.
Haven't seen one of those in a long time.
I hope we get that one day. Like, new Super Mario Bros. Switch.
Exactly.
But, yeah. We should probably read Eddie's prediction.
That's true. We kind of got sidetracked then.
But, it's Eddie's, so, do we have to?
No, it's fine. We'll just skip. Well, that's all the predictions.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the predictions there. All right, then. So,
I mean, to be fair, he does make a good point.
Nah, it's all right. We'll get on to the next one. We'll get on to now. Eddie says, Spider-Man 2, baby! Give me Venom and give me that 2022 release date. 2022 release date for Spider-Man 2. Do we think Spider-Man 2 is going to be announced?
That's a fair shout, to be fair.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
We all know Venom's going to be the next one after seeing Harry in his little containment tube with his holiday in Europe 100%.
For sure.
I completely forgot about Spider-Man, to be fair. Spider-Man 2 would be a good shout.
I don't know. I can't see it happening this year.
Miles Morales?
That's what I'm thinking. And Ratchet & Clank this week.
Insomniac be doing a lot of stuff.
Will they want to take the hype off Ratchet & Clank and move? Because as soon as they announce Spider-Man, all the attention from Ratchet & Clank is going to Spider-Man.
100%, yeah.
And do they want to do that in basically the same week?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
I don't know. I think it'll be another year. I think it'll be another year. Next E3 or whatever, they'll do a state of play maybe in November or something. I don't think it'll be this E3. Sorry, Eddie, to crush your little heart. I think a 2022 release date is plausible.
At the end of 2022, November 2022, holiday, ready for Christmas.
I think if they even if they announce it this time next year, I think it's plausible. But yeah, I'd love to see Spider-Man 2. You have Miles and Peter, Venom. It'd be great.
That would be good, yeah. And then Peter Parker will probably die, and then it'll be Into the Spider-Verse game. I just like Into the Spider-Verse film. Okay.
I don't want Peter to die yet. He's too young.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah. It'd be cool though, because I reckon what you'd have is Peter gets taken over by the symbiote, obviously, and Miles comes to help.
Maybe half the game you'll play as Peter and the other half you'll play as Miles. That makes sense.
I don't know if it'll be like 50-50. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be very interesting to see. I hope they introduce Spider-Gwen though.
Yes, that would be good.
That'd be fun. And they make a Spider-Gwen game. Or they introduce Daredevil and they make a Daredevil game. Now
the whole screen's just black.
Now wouldn't that be the fucking dream?
Really loud sounds.
No, because they could do it like the world on fire. It'd be amazing.
I do like the Netflix Marvel TV shows. At least like the first season of like
Daredevil.
Yeah, and Jessica
Daredevil was
Jones.
great. Daredevil was great. And if Charlie Cox to voice that'd be brilliant. Please.
That would be good.
But anyway, Spider-Man 2. If it happens, amazing. But I can't see it happening. I just can't. I just can't. Sorry.
It's one of those predictions where it's like it's not like completely unplausible, almost like
it is, you know what I mean?
Or something like that. But it's unlikely, yeah.
Yeah. You know. Any last predictions before we move on?
A new Fortnite character that would be really random, like Ellie in Fortnite or Abby or Joel in Fortnite.
Oh no! If they added Ellie to Fortnite, I'd actually fucking commit suicide. That is no joke. I would, because I want to fucking die. No, thank you, Jake. Why did you put that image into my mucking mouth? You know what? I fucking hate you. Oh my god, no!
Perfect last prediction, ending on a high note.
Fuck you.
I mean, hey, you got Kratos, you've got Aloy.
Speaking of Aloy, we got some Horizon Forbidden West gameplay last week.
I completely forgot we haven't spoken about this. I mean, we technically did, but that was on the really laggy bad podcast.
Yeah, that was when we did the podcast before and it was really bad and didn't work very well.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we don't talk about that one. But yeah, Horizon Forbidden West gameplay. What do you think?
It looks good. It does show. Well, hopefully, it's almost like they were showing off, being like, "Hey, we improved on the things that you disliked, especially the combat, for example." Because obviously, we all know the melee combat. Sorry, we know in the first game that the melee combat you had, and then donk.
You had hit.
Exactly, and that was it. And in this one, you got like some weird, like anime looking, like staff sequence that looks really cool.
Sick. It looks sick. I love it.
But unfortunately,
I'm hype. I'm not gonna lie. I'm hype. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Horizon Zero Dawn. In fact, I don't really like it. I have to replay it, but like I don't know. I'm not a big fan. But this, I'm hyped for it. It looks like they've improved on so many things, like Jake's already said, like the melee combat for one. But also just general combat with the tools you have as well, like that kind of sticky bomb thing. Looked really interesting.
Yes, that is. Yes, it really shows they've taken into account the negatives of feedback and that, and they're really improving it, which is what makes a good game studio at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, just like the God of War Ragnarok is also coming to PS4, isn't it?
Yeah. So, this is the thing. We got Horizon Forbidden West. We knew this was happening with Horizon Forbidden West, where it's coming to PS4 as well as PS5. Now, I get it. I get why they're doing it. It means way more people can play it because there are not many people who have got PS5s right now. That's fair. Making more people are able to play it. And in turn, Sony make more money. But by doing this, you're hindering the game. You're not making it be the full capabilities it can be. Look at Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. There's no way that game could run on PS4 at all. Yeah. It just couldn't with the SSD features. If Sony were like, we need this game to be on PS4, think about how hindered the game would be. Think about, like, we wouldn't have the instant load time thing we have where we can just go from world to world. The game wouldn't be built like that. The game would just be built in a totally different way, and it wouldn't be at its full potential. Now, because of this, because of Horizon Forbidden West, God of War, Ragnarok having to be on PS4, just naturally through development, it means that they've had to not go full into the PS5 features.
Exactly, in the back of their mind, they're always like, hey, we got to make sure this is still going to work on the PS4.
Exactly, without making it blow up. So you might
like
say,
a jet engine taking off. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Like, you may think it's not going to affect the game, but it absolutely will do. Even if Sony go out there and say it didn't, or like Guerrilla Games or Santa Monica say it didn't, because maybe while they're making the game, they always knew it was going to be on PS4, so they never thought about things that they could do just on PS5. So then in their minds, okay, no, it didn't affect the game, you know what I mean? But if they're into game development just on PS5, think about how much more they could have done.
Exactly, like what
and
could
that's
have
what
been.
We're losing.
Yeah.
That's what we're losing. They're going to be great games regardless, don't get me wrong. They're still going to be absolutely incredible. I mean, look at Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2. These are the last two PS4 exclusives. They're incredible. Exactly. So Horizon, they'll still be great games, but they won't be what they could have been. They're not going to be
base PS4. Never mind, just like the PS4 Pro is. I mean, it's not bad, but not compared to the PS5, it's still not like great. I mean, and then the PS4 base console, yeah. Ouch.
It's a Nintendo 64 against a PS4.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, nothing up against it. So, like, yeah. And it's annoying. It's annoying because Horizon Forbidden West, I get it, it's still coming out this year. God of War isn't coming out till 2022. Probably about 2 years after the PS5 released. By then, most of the people who are like, oh, but I don't have a PS5 yet, I want to be able to play God of War 2, will probably have a PS5. And that's what's just annoying.
Yeah, I've even seen people who've had, or like who just have PS4s being like, yeah, I agree, this is a bad idea. Because when they do eventually get a PS5, even if the game has been out for like, I don't know, like a year or two, then they would still play the limited experience almost, wouldn't they?
True. But like, I wouldn't, if I didn't have a PS5 right now, I wouldn't be like, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. There's generations. Games are meant to only come out.
Precisely.
You know, is how games are made. I get it. It should just be on PS5. I couldn't, for the last generation, I had a 360. I couldn't get an Xbox One for like 2.5 years until after it released. And there were quite a few games. I mean, granted, then I was just playing Call of Duty pretty much and a few other things.
Yeah.
But at the time, Call of Duty was only being made on Xbox One and PS4, and I was still stuck on like Advanced Warfare. I couldn't get the latest Call of Duty.
But then when eventually you did get the console, then you got to play the backlog of games you missed out on. It's not like you lost anything.
Exactly. I just dealt with it. I actually really wanted to play Sunset Overdrive when it came out because I thought it looked a lot of fun. But it was only on Xbox One. It was the first game I bought when I got an Xbox One. And it was great. But I waited.
God, Sunset Overdrive, I remember that game. It was like a free game with gold, didn't it? And then we played it together.
It was fun, man. I liked it a lot.
It was a good game, yeah.
They should make a new one. Insomniac, man. Make it.
Predictions, Sunset Overdrive 2.
Dude, I'd lose it.
My final prediction.
I'd lose it. Come on, Insomniac. Forget Spider-Man 2. Make
Brilliant
Sunset Overdrive. Please. They still have the rights to it, I think, so.
Yeah, I think I literally saw they renewed it, like, semi-recently.
They did.
I think that's why it's in my mind about the whole, like, prediction joking around, but prediction? Not joking around?
Prediction? I mean, maybe. Maybe.
Sunset Overdrive 2 prediction. Haha, JK. Unless.
Ooh. But, anyway, yeah, so... Yeah, I mean, I'm excited.
Exactly. We have nothing to... Well, I guess we do have quite a bit to lose, don't we? Massive disappointment.
I mean, like, think about how much, like, the way they're just... The game design through loading. I mean, God of War 2, I'm presuming, is going to keep the whole no-load screen
Exactly, yeah.
theme.
That was brilliant.
It's amazing. I mean, so many games now have adopted that. I mean, it's great.
Oh God, I've already forgotten the name. Forbidden. Oh God, I've literally forgotten the name. Horizon Zero Dawn. There we go. It's such a thrown together name, in my opinion. Did that have any loading times?
Yes, had
What,
loads.
Did it?
Loads. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it did.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the second one won't. That'd be good to see.
Maybe not. Or if it will, have very short loading screens.
Exactly.
Please.
That's what we like to see.
Please. I hate it now. When I go back and play a game that has long loading screens, it drives me insane.
Imagine. It's like, God, I did not miss this. Like, imagine playing back on the 360 or something.
Oh my God.
Waiting 5 minutes or something. That's...
I didn't realise how long the loading screen is for The Last of Us 2 to get into the game. Once you're in the game, it's quick as anything. There's literally no loading screens. But
I do remember that, especially when dying and then respawning like 3 seconds later.
It was instant. But like to get into the game for the first time, it takes ages. Like compared to like PS5 standards. I mean, like it's not long. Like when I was playing on the PS4, I was like didn't think of anything of it. But now after playing like Demon Souls, Miles Morales, even Red Dead took so quick.
Yes,
Last
I did
of Us
notice
2
that
takes
when I was
ages.
playing on my PS5. Yeah.
Ages. It's weird. It's so bizarre. But like it's not even that long, but it feels long.
Just obviously what you're used to. Your like, your bar or like your patience for loading screens have decreased with next generation.
It's so bad. I cannot wait for Ratchet and Clank. It's gonna be like no loading time. It's gonna be beautiful.
That would be really cool to see. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Anything you want to talk about the God of War deal?
The God of War deal? Well, what, it being on PS4?
On PS4, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, it's like, even PS4 players are still, like, not happy with it as well, I've seen. Because obviously, as I said, when they get a PS5 eventually, they'll still have that backlog of games to play. Whereas, when they do eventually get a PS5, it'll still have that limiting feature of the PS4. So, they're also missing out if they still just have PS4 at the moment. So,
literally are. They're doing it to their own detriment.
Yeah. It's like PlayStation as well, because they're all like, next generation, we've got to move on thing. But then they're doing this as well. It's like, make up your mind.
That's what's so annoying about it, is PlayStation for always like, we believe in generations, we don't believe in cross-gen, and now they're doing cross-gen. But I understand, because they want to have the most sales. It's probably like a big
suits thing, isn't it? Being like,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And it's not, at least it's not every game. Like Returnal, Demon Souls, Ratchet and Clank, they're all PS5 exclusives. Whereas, you know, but yeah, I'm just a bit pissed off about it, honestly.
What can you do?
I wanted these games to be the pinnacle, be as big, as good as they can be, but Sony are actually hindering them, unfortunately.
Unlike them, yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Oh God, do you know what I am excited for though?
Go on.
Loki.
Dude, yes. It comes out in 4 days.
Just around the corner, yeah.
Wednesdays are the new Fridays.
Fridays, exactly.
I'm looking forward to it, dude. And we'll be having a good discussion on the first couple episodes next podcast.
I can't wait, because you know I'm going to watch them when they're going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
Boom. I threw down my coaster in excitement.
Yes, I don't really know what to expect. Like time travel-y stuff with Loki. It's going to be great. It is going to be great.
I completely forgot to say, I've watched Phase 1 of Marvel again.
Hey, have you?
Yeah.
All of it?
All of it. Apart from The Incredible Hulk.
Fuck's sake, Jake. You missed one. Go back.
I missed out the best one, yeah.
It's not even the worst one. It's actually okay. People always hate on Incredible Hulk. It's actually okay. It's not my least favourite. It's like maybe third or fourth, which is not even bad.
See Mark Ruffalo in it though.
It's Edward Norton. It's great. Jake, go back. You have to go back now and watch Iron Man 1, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2. You have to go back and do it all over again. What? Why have you not watched Incredible Hulk?
I don't know. It's not on Disney Plus. That's why.
No, you can't go sail the seven seas.
No, I shall. I'll travel down to the Pirate Bay and seven.
There's a really important scene at the end.
Is there? Or the end credit scene?
Yeah.
The end credit scene back then was just like a clip for the next film coming out. It wasn't like anything extra. It's really interesting to see.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because Iron Man came out as a solo film, and no one knew it was going to turn into the cinematic universe. So Iron Man came out, and then it introduced the Avengers Initiative. So then suddenly it was like with Nick Fury, and it was like, wait, they're going to do like an Avengers film? Are they going to, do all these? Are they going to do Captain America and do Thor? And then a Thor film got announced. A Captain America film got announced. And like, obviously the end of Iron Man 2 is the end credit scene for Thor. And then suddenly it was like, oh my God, Thor is in this universe.
And traveling to New Texas? New Mexico.
Exactly.
New Texas. Jesus.
New Texas.
Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that.
Texas,
oh dear.
New Texas is right. New Mexico.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like suddenly it was like, oh my God, Thor is in this universe. They didn't know that before. You know? And the same for when it comes to Captain America and everything like that. And in Incredible Hulk, Tony Stark shows up. Fucking idiot. So, and it was like, oh my God, Tony Stark is in Incredible Hulk. So that's why it was like that, because it was building this world that no one knew where it was going to go. It was this huge thing. It's not like we don't take it for granted now. Like if we see a Marvel film, we automatically assume it's in the MCU.
Exactly.
Whereas when they saw when the Thor trailer came out, they didn't necessarily know it was connected to the Iron Man films that came out before.
Until they realised like a clip from the next film was actually the end credit scene. It's like, wow.
That's why it was so big. It was the first ever. It was the first ever properly connected superhero cinematic universe, except like X-Men, I guess, but that doesn't really count, does it? Because DC never did it. They always did their solo films.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see. One of the things that I found most interesting was like seeing how like much the characters changed, which I mean is going to be a given with the whole like universe. But you really look back and like, wow, Tony Stark really was like an asshole back then.
Tony Stark's character arc is amazing.
Yeah, it's absurd, and I didn't realize he like hated being handed stuff. Like I completely forgot that small like detail about him.
Idiosyncrasy. Yeah,
it's really interesting to see.
It's great.
And all these like really young characters is great. I suggest it to anybody who likes Marvel to really go back and watch them if you haven't done it in a while. It's really cool to see. And see
I'm so glad.
All their like little like fun like lines, the iconic lines. Obviously at the end of Iron Man, Tony Stark being like, "I am Iron Man," and then obviously again in Endgame, and then obviously in Captain America: The First Avenger, him being like, I can do this all day, like before he was all like super soldier serumed up and everything. It's great. It's really interesting. And obviously to see Red Skull as well.
Yes.
And then again in Endgame, it's like, cool. It's just great. It shows how the parallels. Oh, another thing is obviously hearing Jarvis's voice, and then it's the same voice actor and the same actual actor of a Vision. It's brilliant.
Did you not know that?
It's so good. No, I knew that from the start. Obviously when it first came out, I was like, oh yeah, of course it is. Like,
yeah. It's
nice just to hear. I've forgotten his name too, but it's just nice to see like Marvel keeping all these consistencies from the very, very start and even today.
Honestly,
it's great. It's so consistent.
We're just so lucky that they casted an incredible actor to play Jarvis.
I know, like no way they planned for that far ahead.
Incredible actor.
It was like an indie film when it came out. Like everyone was like, a Marvel cinematic film. This is strange. Like nobody obviously really heard of like Marvel comics. Obviously, people have heard of Marvel comics, but not
because the X-Men films just didn't exist.
Oh, you know. Oh dear.
You fucking idiot. Yeah, like the 8 years of X-Men films before just didn't exist.
Yeah, just ignore me. Old X-Men.
I'm Fantastic Four.
I had to fix my chair. It's shrunk down.
And how's the Duck, Jake? How's the Duck film?
Just no dear.
But it is true, like Marvel's movie history before like the MCU and I guess the X-Men was very lackluster, whereas DC's was like all the way back from 1966, and like they're super popular. So
I mean, hey, I remember you saying you've like watching all the Marvel films.
DC films.
DC films, sorry, yeah.
I have been. I've been loving it. I watched Green Lantern last night.
I saw on your Twitter being like, hey, it's not as bad as, I don't know why it's universally hated.
Honestly, I don't know what this hate is. Green Lantern, unironically, great movie. There was problems. I had problems with a bit of cinematography and, like, CGI. I get that. But story was actually very good. And very good Green Lantern portrayal. Fight me. I don't care. I don't care. It was, sorry.
Plus, hey, it's where Ryan Reynolds met Blake Lively, and hey, they're a great couple, so...
Absolutely.
Even better.
Jesus Christ. And Ryan Reynolds is actually a great Hal Jordan. Like, he brought the seriousness and the comedy through. Great. Cockiness as well.
10 out of 10.
Great.
Perfect cockiness, yeah.
But yeah, sorry, not Green Lantern. But yeah, I've been really enjoying watching DC films. I've slowed down the last couple of weeks. I've just not having time to watch films. But yeah, good. I'll finish one day.
Now then, Iron Man. Green Lantern.
2011.
Yeah.
But
yeah, getting there.
Between the next 10 years, there's like 60 films.
Yeah, they really ramped it up. Especially there's loads of animated ones as too.
It's a lot of animated. It's like maybe 15 live action. The rest animated. But the animated are like super good. Like they are very, very good.
I can imagine it's almost like the hidden gems of DC. Like they've got great stories, obviously because they're not just as popular because they're animated.
It's true. I mean, it's like it's because they follow the comic book stories. Most of them. It's like literally 100% depictions of comic book stories, which is really nice.
I mean, hey, it works so well because the storyboard's already laid out for you.
Oh yeah, exactly. I can't wait to get to Flashpoint, the film. I love that film.
Is there an animated Flashpoint film? Is there?
Yeah, you should watch it actually if you don't want to read the comic. It's great.
That sounds very cool.
Speaking
some Flash.
Of Flash, we got an image of Michael Keaton's Batman suit with a bit of blood on it, teasing for the Flash film.
Oh, did we? I missed that.
Because apparently Michael Keaton's Batman's going to be in it.
Michael Keaton. God, which Batman is that?
The Batman in like 1989.
Right. That's interesting. So
he was like the first movie Batman if you discount Adam West.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I know Adam West. Yeah, that makes sense then.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was the one with Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
Good. Michael Keaton, great Batman. Apparently he's going to be in Flash, which makes me worried because it insinuates that they're probably going to do a Flashpoint story. And I'm like, why?
We've seen this before, where they said that animation in the comics.
But why are you doing Flashpoint? If you do Flashpoint, it deletes literally the whole universe. So you're just going to reboot the DC. Okay, fine.
I mean, is that such a bad thing at this point, rebooting the DC?
But we want the Snyder. We need to restore the Snyderverse, Jake. That's what we want. We don't want no reboot. As long as they reboot to restore the Snyderverse, but they won't do that.
No, people still holding out hope for that, or
yeah, people are holding out. But they should. Well, the figures came out for the HBO Max, like the movies that I watched in the last like couple months.
Oh yeah,
and like the Snyder cut far goes past everything else. Like it's double the amount of viewership of everything else on the fucking
course. I mean,
thing.
Hey, I watched it and I barely watched like DC sort of just like films.
So good. I got my Blu-ray now.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Nice.
It's beautiful. I haven't actually watched it yet. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to watch it until I get to the end of my DC watch.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Like close it off.
Very nice.
But it doesn't mean I have to watch Justice League from 2017 again. So. Oh
God, you are going to watch it.
I haven't watched it since I saw it in cinema.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
I watched it on a date. That was fun.
I'm sure that went great. What a perfect film. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
oh dear.
Did you have anything you want to say?
No, not particularly.
Oh,
I can't think of anything else. It's been a while.
Nothing of value.
No, nothing I say is of value. Let's be very
exactly. That's exactly right, Joe. That's exactly right. Well, end it there then.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. Well, this has been another great podcast, I believe. Yeah?
It's good to be back. Yeah, I'm glad we figured out the Wi-Fi issue by literally calling each other's phones instead of using Discords.
Yeah, if the podcast is ever today really off-synced or like really odd, it's because I suck at editing, but it's also because our internet was just having a fucking meltdown. We tried.
I'm on phone to Ben at the moment.
We are literally on the phone instead of like recording through Discord. That's what
absurd.
That's what we're doing.
Though. Honestly, this is the best like little delay I've ever. Even like when we've had good Discord sessions, this still literally beats it.
Honestly, we should just do this every time. It works so much better. But yeah, because we tried to record it on Thursday, and we had really bad connection issues. So we're like, we'll delay it,
didn't we?
Yeah, we'll delay it half an hour or something. We're like, this just isn't going to work. The quality is going to be terrible. We'll record next time we record, so Sunday. Still have the connection issues. I don't understand what it is. We've never had this issue before.
There's like nothing else on the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So if you like for the first like hour and a half, it's like ever a bit unsynced, it's because I may have missed something in the editing. I know this is going to take me like 5 hours to edit.
It is, because I noticed sometimes like I started speaking and then like a couple of seconds later you're like, oh, carry on, and I
honestly I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have the fucking time to edit this shit. Maybe I'll get Joe to do it. Maybe you'll be able to do it. Anyway,
that's quite harsh pushing it on him, but I mean, if you're the type, I wish my PC was like, it's not even a PC, it's a laptop. I wish it was powerful enough to do that.
Yeah, well, I'll see what it's like. I've tomorrow morning off, so I'll get up early probably and just get on it.
You can always send like the version for me to mock listen to it and
proof listen. I guess proof listen. Yeah, I get you. I can do that. Anyway,
some behind the scenes talk going on there.
yeah. That's how it just be. Thank you all for watching. Remember, if you want to have a good old chat with me and Jake and the other bros who listen and watch and support, come join our Discord server.
It's right here on the PC. I'm picking up and showing.
Why do you always do that? I always go through editing and notice you pick up your fucking monitor, and I'm like, why? So much hassle.
Nobody ever sees it, I doubt it.
No, they don't.
If you have seen it, please like write a comment in it just to make me happy, just to know that my efforts aren't wasted.
If you see Jake pick up his monitor to show you the Discord server, write it in the fucking YouTube comments.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
And you have to join the server because that's a lot of effort to do.
You have to, yeah. If you want to come join, chat, post your comments and topics for the podcast, and you get to vote for the games I stream on Twitch. So if you haven't followed on Twitch already, why don't you do that? It's a great time. And thank you to all of the epic Twitch subscribers. I'm going to start reading them on the podcast is what I've decided to do. Thank you to all the epic Twitch subscribers there. Joe, Alfie, Isak, and a special thank you to Isak for gifting 2 subs to Mikey and the other person. So, thank you.
The other person.
I'm going to list up. But there are a couple people.
You're so appreciated, other person. Yeah.
Well, Isak, he gifted the subs to them, so it's like Isak gets the thank you, but I do really appreciate that. So, Joe, McCormack, Isak, and Alfie, thank you all for the subs on Twitch. That really means it really means
Joe,
a lot.
McCormack, Isak.
Yeah. I'm going to start doing that on the podcast. I think to read to thank the Twitch subs. I think that's quite.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So we'll do that. But yeah. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed already, why not? We're on that road to 200. We're only like 30 away right now. We're at 170 subs. Really epic. Try and get 200 by the end of August. That's my goal. I think we can do it. Let's do it. And yeah, anything you want to say before we leave, Jake?
No, just goodbye and thank you for listening, I guess.
Yeah. Goodbye.